Down from the Hogan leg drop. That has Hollywood stunned.
Yes! Yes, Malone can use the diamond cutter. And look at Goldberg. He's ready.
He's poised.
Okay, there's part one. Now finish him off. Finish him off.
He's calling for it.
This is it. This is it. Your career's on the line here. Do it. Do it. This place will erupt when he picks him up.
He's got him up. Oh, hell yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you. We've got a new heavyweight champion.
On the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous.
I just had an out-of-body experience. What did we just see? What did we just see?
He got him in a power slam. He got him in a power slam. He got it. Simmons got it. Simmons has won the match. Simmons is a champion.
I've always maintained that reality is for people who can't face drugs.
Shit is about to get real.
You get to see your knee. Shit.
Look at the stare of the champion against the challenger.
And now, Straight Talk Society presents Wrestling with Reality.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's going to be the biggest battleground in the history of our sport.
The biggest match in pro wrestling history.
The two biggest superstars in our sport in the biggest event the sport has ever seen. The biggest match in the history of our sport.
Trying to run a little scalded dog here. Enough is enough. That's enough. No! Oh, God, that's enough! Stop it! Bam! Listen. Barrett's tougher than a $2 steak. Who is your daddy? Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Slam! Toe slam! Who's your daddy, Undertaker? Lucifer's lips on the biggest times in the WWE! Somebody's got this! Somebody's knock the damn man! Enough's enough!
What?
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object. WWE Dynamite.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time. Let's rock.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
So to escape from reality?
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I am reality.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Oh, it's live, pal.
It is now time for
Wrestling.
with reality.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Junior, look at this.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Number one, to be the man, baby! You have to beat the man! Heavyweight champion of the world. The time is now. Reality has become the present, and the final lesson of the pain game has begun. Have you ever heard a choke like that in your life?
You are gonna wrestle my ass for the world title. You will have to kill me to keep me from killing you. Woo!
The 90s have been referred to as the reckoning with truth. In the 80s, everything was clouded. Nobody ever told the truth. In the 90s, the way to go is flat out. Tell no lies. That's the way we're gonna do it. When you hear something from our lips, truth it may be, and as much as it may hurt, you can count on it being exactly the way that it is.
We want the gold, sucker! Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga!
We are definitely coming for you. What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of Wrestling with Reality, episode 23. Hey, and we got a fantastic news-filled show for you tonight. So we got a bunch of news items, and we gotta hit them and go, because I am falling in love with this 2.5 hour show mark. So, oh man, so I see one of my co-hosts already up here, the radical Republican, the guy that's not too fond of immigrants. I see I'm gonna have to come over to Tape Fist Politics and bang him across the head a couple of times. What's up, MD?
Hey, peace. What's up, man? What's going on?
I can't call it, man. Yeah, I just got off the phone with Venkat not too long ago, so I don't know where he is, but he'll be on soon. So let me get this info out of the way real quick. Like I said, we are aiming for that 2.5 hour mark, and we do have a lot of information tonight. The MMA brothers, both of them, or at least one of them, will be joining us later as we talk about the main event, the top story tonight, the TKO, the UFC WWE merger that was finalized yesterday. They are huge UFC fans. They do a UFC show on the channel, so it would make sense for them to come on tonight as we talk about it. So before we get into the show, hold on, let me cut my camera on. I know what I'm doing here. Yeah, baby.
Oh God, you went to the dark side.
Y'all see it. I am all elite. We do see it.
Who would have thought this day would ever come?
Yeah, y'all get y'all screenshots in. Y'all go on and get your screenshots in.
They need all the help they can get right now.
Oh, we gonna get to it, MD. Don't worry about it. We are gonna get to it. Like I say, we got a packed show tonight. I got like 7 pages of news. Venkat, I haven't seen the video yet, so I'm assuming he helped me out, so I don't have to read everything that I do want to read. So real quick, I got an email from Facebook today. They have lifted my my ban.
Oh, you out of jail?
Yeah, so I will be streaming back to the channel. I tried to stream this show to the channel, but they still won't let me do it. They say they're having some technical difficulties. So hopefully after this show, all the shows will start going back to Facebook. I'm not sure if I want to activate back my personal account, but I definitely will activate the Straight Talk Society channel. So look for that to be back up. And it was what I thought. WWE, it's crazy. We do a wrestling show here, and I'm the guy that just promotes WWE like crazy, and they're the ones who hit me with the 2 strikes. They hit me off. They hit me off of the payback, because just like I figured, somebody's audio went up and they caught a clip of us playing it, and they said that we're unlawfully streaming against somebody's copyright. And then they hit us for another show, another wrestling show that had a video in it. So I did appeal those just so I can get my videos back up on the channel, but they may not allow it. So whatever. But I am back on Facebook, I think, because they wouldn't let me stream this to it, but we'll see. So that is good news, I guess. We do have, like I say, we do have a packed show. So let's get into it right now. As you guys know what I do every week, and I love it. Let's get into the ratings. So real quick, I want to go back to 9-2. So that was the collision. That was the night that Tony Khan came out and let everybody know that CM Punk was no longer with the company. And these come from the Wrestling Observer. So this is the 9-2 edition of Collision. Saturday night's episode of AEW Collision averaged 345,000 viewers, down 37.5% from the previous week. So now everybody will see that and they say, oh no, that's all CM Punk. That's all CM Punk. I may have thought that it was CM Punk. No, it was WWE Payback. And I'm going to show you why. It's the lowest audience total the show has drawn in its brief history. This episode was a Collision go home show for All Out, which was taking place the next day. It went head to head with several college football games on both network TV and cable. The games dominated the charts as they will for the rest of the year. Collision also aired at the same time as WWE Payback on Peacock. So that's what did it. And here's the reason why we know that's what did it. The 9/9 edition of Collision averaged 476,000. So it's back up, not 500,000, but it's back up to kind of where that sweet spot. So that's up 38%. And it was against the Alabama and Texas game. So if it was the football that was doing them that bad, then these ratings would have been in the toilet, because Alabama versus Texas, you know, those are two powerhouse schools. But no, they're back up to their average. It was because of WWE Payback. So everybody who said that it was CM Punk causing them to be down, you know, blah blah blah, that's not it. It's still they still play second fiddle to the largest company in the world for now, WWE. So real quick about those ratings, because I think me and MD are hinting on the same thing. So before we go into that, what do you guys think about that? Those trash ratings going up against the WWE product?
Well, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. They're not there yet. I mean, they got the largest audience outside of the United States ever in wrestling paid for, but they still have a ways to go, and it's expected. They're going into year 4, so it's okay. It's expected. WWE still holds a large part of the market share in professional wrestling, and we know that.
Is there more booze on?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, MD.
I'll give a little bit of pushback on that. The reason why I saw the ratings too. Go back and see the first quarter ratings of Collision on that same show, and they was in the 400s in the first 15 minutes. But after that quarter, it drastically went down.
Well, because people were tuning into Payback. They checked out Collision for the first 15 minutes, and they went to Payback.
Shit. You're bored something.
But why did they check out the first 15 minutes though? Yeah, I'm driving out and it's raining. Okay then, so that's why I say I give a little bit of pushback.
So you're saying it was CM Punk?
I'm saying that people wanted to see what Tony Khan was going to say about CM Punk, not to mention the letter that was put out a couple hours before Collision. You got to take that in consideration.
Let me ask you a question, because I don't know how long you're going to be on, because I don't want to lose you. Damn, and there he is. We just oh no, we didn't lose him. I don't want to lose you when we say this. Do you think that was a bad idea for Tony to put that letter out ahead of time?
I think he wanted to try to alleviate the pressure as much as possible. I mean, honestly, if it was me, I probably would have did the same thing. Because you have to realize, if he would have made that announcement with like no emphasis on anything, nobody knows nothing, it would have been it would have probably been worse as far as the drastic drop that they had. So I think from a rating standpoint, it actually like did them good for that first quarter, because everybody wanted to know what was going to be said about CM Punk. Even though we knew already that he was fired, you know what I'm saying? But obviously Tony Khan was going to have to make a public statement. So that's why I say the pushback is that first quarter is the best if I'm not mistaken, the first quarter was the best number, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, you know what I mean?
So I saw a report that said they lost like 89,000 viewers after the first quarter. So that
after the first quarter, it dropped.
But if the product was so hot, okay, if the product was so hot, See, we don't know because Payback was on at the same time, and the Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus match was a good match. So I'm still leaning more to Payback as the reason why the overall number was so awful.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is that first quarter, because the number was so high the first quarter, that was based off of CM Punk. After that, once they saw what Tony Khan had to say, that was it. You know, it's like show over. I'm going to watch Payback. So my only pushback is that first quarter is the reason everybody tuned in and the reason everybody fell off. That's all they wanted to see. So indirectly, it was CM Punk.
So my question to Venkat now, because Venkat brought it up, he was like largest paid audience outside of the United States. And I remember when that show was coming up, I said that it would not translate domestically. And I got a bunch of pushback like, oh yeah, well, and because for some reason they aren't clicking with the majority of wrestling fans. And you say is 4 years, blah, blah, blah. It takes about 4 years to know what you have. So my question to you is what because I'm gonna tell you a number. And I just heard this today from WrestleTix. They're doing Dynamite tonight. They're doing Dynamite tonight in Cincinnati, where John Moxley's from. You want to know how many tickets they sold to that show? Just take a guess.
I'll say around 35. I'll say around 3,500.
What you think, Venkat?
Yeah, somewhere along the threes, maybe low fours, hopefully.
2,000.
Damn.
2,000 to a show that Moxley's going to be heavily featured on.
But okay, so I've always heard that a new business doesn't make a profit till 5 to 7 years. So this is a new wrestling company going up against a 60-year-old company. So I'm okay with that.
Hold on, but we're not even putting WWE in this. This is a company that put 10,000 in an arena for the first All Out. This is a company that on average puts 6,000 people in an arena for their weekly television shows. Now your
sold out Arthur Ashe Stadium the first year.
They sold out Arthur Ashe Stadium the first shot. So now your biggest star in the company, allegedly, I'm doing this, y'all see, Moxley is at his hometown and he can't even get more than 2,000 people paid in the building. When Eddie Guerrero, Bruce Pritchard tells the story all the time, whenever WWE would run El Paso, the walk up for Eddie Guerrero on a night that they knew he was going to be featured would be ridiculous. Like they'd sell the building out just alone on walk ups.
Sounds like an indictment on Moxley.
Yeah, because I'm just saying, like they average 5,000 to 6,000 fans, which is good because they don't run the big buildings, which is fine, whatever. But man, 2,000, like that's house show numbers. I could expect to go to any WWE house show right now and see 2,000 people in the building easily. Non-televised house show that you're going to see the same boring crap on.
I mean, yeah, people are just not acclimated with AEW wrestling, and this is what I said when AEW was getting his legs up under him. A lot of these New Japan wrestlers, a lot of these wrestlers coming on the independent scene, people don't know what the hell is going on. I'm talking about the average fan. Now, of course, AEW caters to the smart wrestling fans. I ain't disagreeing with that. But the smart wrestling fans is not going to get you a big gate. Like the casual, you know what I mean? Mom and dad taking their kids to the wrestling show is what's going to get you the big gate and what's on TV. Now, again, that goes back to what we say about the television rights and the streaming services. Tony Khan going to have to figure out a way to work more exclusively with New Japan, with New Japan having the streaming service that they got. They gonna have to streamline this some way where we all have access to it. Yep. So we all can get acclimated with these wrestlers that they trying to put in the forefront. That's just what's gonna have to happen. We all know that Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world, but half of the casual wrestling fans don't know who the hell Will Ospreay is.
They'd be like, who?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about all the time about the accessibility of AEW not being on like a Netflix or HBO Max, something where you could just easily just have contact with them. I have no cable, but I'm able to see WWE very easily with the Peacock situation, so I could watch all kinds of things for WWE. But I don't have that same. I mean, the YouTube channel is very limited. I mean, you might get like the last 5 minutes of a match that's high profile, but overall, it's really nothing. So that's their issue, man. Until they realize charging $50, and again, they've been knocking it out in the park every pay-per-view, and no casual wrestling fan was able to see those high moments. So you probably want to eat that $50 and let those people see what you got, so that you can make more money in the long run. Those $50, for those pay-per-views is killing them.
But Venkat, we've done 23 of these shows, and I think MD probably wasn't on maybe 2 or 3 in the beginning. But I had to sit here every week and listen to Mike and Bones and everybody tell me how AEW is for the fan that doesn't like WWE. There's a lot of fans that doesn't like WWE. So naturally, so my question is, where are they? If I don't like a product and you offer me a better, if I don't like Pepsi, but I love cola, naturally I'm going to gravitate to Coke, right?
Right.
Why aren't they gravitating to AEW? Like, what is it going to take? Who else? Okay, so who's the needle mover that's out there that they say like, man, if we sign this person, then things will work. CM Punk didn't work. It didn't work. Their champion is great. MJF is great. I love MJF's theme music probably more than I should, but I really love his theme music because it's so slimy. But MJF, Jade came back Saturday. Like, she's their biggest star, no questions asked, but Jade ain't gonna move no needle. Who they're talking about signing Edge. Edge is not gonna make a difference. Edge will make a difference for the first month, and then it'll go back. If Mercedes comes in, they just gonna be like, oh, that's the ex-WWE girl. She'll work for 2 months. Who's out there that's gonna, I want this company to succeed. They're not going to be able to sustain this, trying to sign all these people to high dollar deals, and they can't break 1 million viewers on TV. Like, that's crazy.
I don't think you could just sign like some free agents and think that, oh, it's going to work. It doesn't work like that. There may be a mild minimum interest here and there. You may get the initial buzz because it's new and fresh, but that don't last forever. After about a month or so, it's going to wane. CM Punk came back. That first show blew up, and then the very next week it went down, and then they've been like in middle range the whole time. So it's not a talent or a big name. This is not the 90s WCW Nitro times. It's not going to translate like that. But I think the AEW has the issue that the Republican Party has. They're not going to win the popular vote. They're never going to win the popular vote. So they need to keep the moderates, the people in the center. And if they can get them, they'll win. The people in the center in the wrestling world is the casual fan. So they have their diehards, but there's not enough of those diehards. So you need that casual fan. And until the day they realize they got to stop prostituting themselves for $50 and realize they need to be more pragmatic and more level-headed, and you're going to have to give up something to get something, and it'll help in the long run. But until they realize that, and until I stop getting cursed out in these groups for AEW about bringing this up, that will never go away. If AEW was on HBO Max or Netflix or something of that nature, they would have much more fan interest, because now you will be able to get involved with the storyline. What MJF and Cole are doing right now is just great stuff. There's a lot of little things that are going on within AEW that if it had more eyeballs to it, it will translate bigger. a big star coming in is not going to be enough to hold it. They need to see the good that they have now. So
but don't you think it's more accessible now than if it was to go on a HBO? Everybody doesn't have HBO Max. I have it because it comes with the internet, but I'm not going to pay for it. Everybody doesn't have an Amazon Prime account. Well, again, I have it because of the cell phone.
Yeah, but those are easy service to get. Yeah, everybody don't have Peacock, but it's there.
Peacock is for the pay-per-views. I'm talking about the regular week-to-week TV.
They have the Monday Night Raws and stuff. It comes late, but they have it. They have all the past events, and they have the current events that are coming up. And after you see a pay-per-view, it may push you to watch Raw and SmackDown.
And don't forget, AEW, you can go back and watch AEW Dynamite and Collision on Discovery Plus right now. They got the episodes on Discovery Plus.
And I'd ask you, what is Discovery Plus?
That's the stream.
Exactly.
That's a Time Warner streaming service. But I mean, that just goes back to what I was saying. It's not necessarily about the TV. It's about the I'll just say premium live event, because that's what WWE calls it. It's more or less about that. What I'm saying is we have to get more acclimated to the roster, the storylines. And a lot of these storylines involve people that's not even full contract under AEW. They book a lot of wrestlers, like a Will Ospreay, I think Takeshita is signed now to AEW, right? Or is he? I think
he's under contract with them. You that ass Bones that one, but
I mean, when Takeshita first came in, he wasn't signed full time with AEW. They was booking him. So when you do stuff like that, it leaves us with a question mark over our head, like who, like what, like what's going on? And they put him in like predominant storylines and angles. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna do that, put New Japan on TV. Build that type of relationship so we can watch New Japan every week. I wouldn't mind watching New Japan every week on TNT or TBS. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so it goes. Okay, they absolutely have the best work rate in wrestling, but it goes to what Vince McMahon says, and we'll get to him later. It's not all about work rate. It's not like you think wrestling, you'd want to see good wrestling, but they got good wrestling. That's not doing it.
They don't have good character development though.
They had some beautiful women over there. It's not doing it. It's like everything that I could think of, they got like damn near 20% of WWE's former roster is not doing it. Like nothing. I don't get it, man. It's almost depressing, man, because you talk about 5 to 7 years. I mean, we're in the 4th year, and they're not. The progression is not there, man. They should have been bigger than what they are. And again, I always say I think they killed themselves because they spent more time trying to say that we're better than WWE versus doing their own thing, staying in their own lane, and just being great at what they're great at.
I agree with that.
And not worrying about WWE. It's like everything they do, oh man, we did this better than WWE. Meanwhile, WWE is like, look at our numbers though. I mean, and we're going to get the WWE's Raw number because the Raw number was the worst in history. So we're going to get to that. But
before you segue out, Trevor, also consider this. It inevitably does go back to CM Punk, because even though Collision is your show, you love Collision.
Yeah.
But the angles are not able to develop from show to show because of CM Punk.
Yeah, without him.
Well, they will now. But look how they had to do All In and All Out. Like, we literally got a makeshift storyline, between the angles that they were doing within a couple of weeks of the show. The biggest show ever. And it took a couple of weeks. The reason being because they couldn't streamline the angles from show to show. But that's all I had to say.
Yeah, that CM Punk versus the Elite they could have rolled out for a year with that, like literally. And And then after CM Punk dispatches of the Elite, because he has to beat, well, he can't do it now, but he had to beat them. Then you got the Real World's Champion angle. Like that guy, I hope they sue him, because that guy ruined so much for them. Storyline wise, you had this Ricky Starks guy who, to me, he's just another regular bum fill-in wrestler, but he had a program with Punk where it's like, man, you got the greatest tag team in the world, a Revival, their affiliation with Punk, so at any point you're like, man, are they going to be heel, or they're not, or blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything was tied around Punk. Now Brian is now on Collision, is his show, but he's saying he's going to be done wrestling when his daughter turns 8, which is next year, 7, which is next year. So you don't even got him. So it's like, now he's not going to stay healthy for the whole year, and you're looking at it like, damn, we only got him for a year. Who else?
You're talking about Bryan Danielson?
Yeah.
But I saw that he's going to be treated as a main, like a special attraction. So I guess he might show up on like the pay-per-view, like maybe 4 times out of the year or 3 times out of the year. It's a special thing. So he'll still wrestle. You're just not going to see him as much.
And that's a shame, man. Like, it's.
But I mean, he did. I mean, we should just be fortunate and happy that he's wrestling at any level, because his career really should have been done like many years ago.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I promise you, like, I'm not even being condescending with this one. I know I could be that way, but I want them to succeed, because there's so many other wrestlers from WWE that's over there, Miro and Black and stuff like, guys that I'm like, damn, man, Vince just screwed the pooch with these guys. But I go over to AEW and they're not doing a damn thing over there. Like, what's this Lana? So wait, Lana comes back now and she's not with Miro. What's going on with that?
Yeah, I thought that was odd too.
Like,
yeah,
they're literally running the WWE gimmick, like literally. But it's just crazy. Wrestling is weird that way. But so I did mention it earlier. Raw did its worst rating ever. That with
but you mean when you say ever, you mean ever. Like ever?
Ever. Their lowest rating was a Christmas episode where they did a clip show, like a review show. So it wasn't even a real show.
Oh wow.
This Monday they did 1.3 million viewers. Think about that. This is a show that used to combine with WCW for 8 million viewers a week. Now they're down to 1.3 million viewers. Yeah, they're going to use the excuse that they were against Monday Night Football. And yeah, 22 million people did watch that Buffalo Bills New York Jets game. It hurt me so bad that Aaron Rodgers got hurt, man. God, man, I don't like to see that, man. I really don't like to see that. Damn.
Don't feel sorry for Aaron Rodgers, bro. He'll be all right.
Well, yeah. He got maybe 100 million reasons 10 times over to not feel sorry for him. But I'm just saying, like, because when the Dolphins run through everybody, I don't want them to be like, oh man, but they didn't have Aaron Rodgers. You know how they do it. They're gonna be like, oh, and St. Louis is saying they need to utilize Sting more. You see what I'm saying? He wanted them to utilize a 64-year-old man.
There'll be no Sting bashing on this episode.
I was saying don't feel sorry for him, because he literally did nothing in training camp and preseason. So that's on him.
Man, you know what sucks is that they won't have now Green Bay not going to get that first round pick. And now I think now it turns to a second round, but whatever. We'll discuss that on the Miami Dolphins post game show. So yeah, Raw did a 1.3 million, and and naturally they're going to say that it was the Monday Night Football game, but I think Raw has a bigger issue. They're stagnant right now. You have your biggest star on the brand in Cody Rhodes. You advertise him coming back, and he came back to literally cut a promo and beat up Dominic Mysterio. Which, by the way, I know Venkat doesn't like Dominic Mysterio, but there's not a wrestler in the world today that gets more heat than legit heat than Dominic Mysterio. So shout out to him. Shout out to him, man. That guy gets that guy gets the hatred, man. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, but the hatred isn't because he's a competent guy that can execute, and people are just pissed off at his arrogance. It's not that. It's like they know he's a bumbling idiot that can't get things right, and he's trying to talk like he's all that. He's not Ravishing Rick Rude that get all the boos when he's saying, "Well, I'd like to have right now." You know, it's not that, and that's what I think is a different level of heat or hate towards him. And I know they're all hating him, not in the traditional sense that we think about. They're hating him because he's trash.
He getting that Vicky Guerrero heat, and
well, there you go. There you go.
If you're a wrestler, hey, there's some heels in wrestling that wish they could get that type of heat. But so
he's getting a reaction. You got to give it to him. He's getting a reaction because there are bums all over the place that don't get anything.
MD, so Jade Cargill did come back. You think they're going to eventually work her into wrestling Saraya?
If they smart, they would.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Saraya is the best opponent for her. Like Saraya is literally doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know how they gonna put her in a respectable program. So she'll eventually get the title. Will it be Saraya? I don't know. The way it's looking, I will go Toni. Toni Storm is the hottest thing female wise in AEW right now.
Yes.
Period.
Yes. I would put that belt back on Toni and have Jade beat Toni. And just for the aesthetics though, because you got Jade standing next to Saraya, that's not a good look. Like Jade would have to slow down so many things to wrestle her. You know, she couldn't hit her with nothing impact because let's face it, her neck, we don't really know.
Yeah, and she's only been in one singles match since she's been in AEW. One.
And I don't think
she's the champion.
I don't think she ever was good either, by the way. So I know people give me heat for that, but you know, the best thing I ever saw her in, you could find if you type in POR. None. I don't think she's. I just never thought she was any good. Like it, yeah, whatever.
There you go, the heel minister, folks. He's here all throughout the week and twice on Sundays.
So let's move on to the next news item. On Wednesday, September 6th, they did lay Bray Wyatt to rest. He had his funeral. So a few items that I want to pick out from that. No, I don't have any funeral detail and I don't want any funeral detail, but there was a few things that did stand out to me. Speaking of Tony Khan, he's a terrible booker, but he did make a great gesture. This comes from Matt Hardy's podcast. Tony Khan provided a private jet for AEW talents to attend Bray Wyatt's funeral. So according to comments made by Matt Hardy, Tony Khan went out of his way to provide AEW talents with an opportunity to attend Bray Wyatt's funeral. Hardy spoke about attending the service for his former tag partner and the effort Tony Khan made to ensure others could do so as well during the latest episode of his Extreme Life with Matt Hardy podcast. So Matt Hardy says a big shout out to Tony. He took care of everybody really good. Hardy said he sent a jet down there, carried all the AEW talents up to TV in Indianapolis. I was very grateful for that and definitely appreciated it. Once again, just showing how good-hearted of a human being he is. He really made it work out so that everyone who wanted to attend could attend. And according to a post from Braun Strowman, a celebration of Wyatt's life was held on Wednesday, September 6th. The service was delayed a week due to the hurricane that hit Florida recently. AEW Dynamite took place later that night at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum in Indianapolis. There were several AEW guys that attended the service, and the whole WWE was there. It was so crazy to see everybody, this gathering, to get everybody in one room, exchange pleasantries with everybody. It was so sad that we were reunited that it was so sad that we were reunited, everybody in those circumstances. Hardy said of the service, it was an important moment to let him know not only as my friend, but somebody I worked with, my tag team partner, someone I really liked a lot, someone I had lots of love for, to be there and let him know that I was there for his ceremony when he passed away, and to honor and celebrate his life. So that was a good gesture by Tony Khan.
I got a question.
All right, well, oh boy.
So he said it was like the whole WWE was there. Do we know if Seth was there? Do we know if Roman was there? And do we know if Alexa was there?
Well, Alexa's knocked up, so I doubt she was there. This is just me thinking. I think that Roman and Seth would have been there. There's no way for me to find out as yet. I mean, it will come out if they weren't. If they weren't there though, then I think that's a problem. So I'm not going to speculate. I don't know, because like I said, I didn't even want to click on. I always say that, St. Louis, that Jade is Bianca Belair's doppelganger. I'd love to see Jade just come in and destroy Bianca. But I'm not going to speculate because I don't know. I didn't want to click on any, you see the things that says Bray Wyatt funeral pictures. Yeah, I don't do that. I hate when people take pictures of people that, laying in caskets and stuff and posting it all over the web. So I didn't want to see that. So I don't know who was there. So I'm not going to speculate. Go and heal it up, Venkat. Go ahead.
No. I think Seth probably was there. Probably
because Becky
Roman
was there.
Not.
So Seth had to be. Well,
yeah. I don't think Roman would have been there. That's just
if he wasn't, then that's a problem. Because I had a problem with him not being on the damn stage. That SmackDown. He
used the same excuse that Alexa said. She couldn't get a flight.
Bullshit. Vince McMahon got private jets. You're the face of the company. You are the face of the company. Your co-worker. It would be like when Owen Hart died, Stone Cold and The Rock weren't standing there next to Vince McMahon on the stage.
Well, I can understand Stone Cold not wanting to be there. He almost broke the nigga neck, but whatever.
Nah, man.
I can understand that part.
That was accidental. It ain't like he did that shit on purpose. That was.
I don't think he called him though. He didn't. I mean,
to be honest, like to me, remember this is the first death that we've had with an active roster person since what, Benoit?
Yeah, current.
Yeah. So to me, I think the show that they had was kind of lackluster. That's me. I think they could have did more, comparing it to what they did with Benoit.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
They should have played his best match,
especially what they did to Eddie. Like Eddie, you remember that show? That show had me tearing up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought that up, MD, because you reminded me of a question that I wanted to ask Venkat, and I needed to write it down. But go ahead and finish, because I know what I wanted to ask him now.
No, yeah. So I think the show was kind of lackluster. They did do the thing on SmackDown too, but to me it was kind of lackluster. And hell, you want to talk about people weren't there? Yeah, Alexa said what she said, but yeah.
I mean,
I get it.
I give her a mulligan.
But I mean, was Triple H out there?
Oh, he had to have been out there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
He was.
He was up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if he wasn't out there, then I would have just stopped watching. Like that would have been crazy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, y'all jogging my memory and whatnot. But
the fact that Roman wasn't there, it's bad enough Roman don't show up for work. The fact that he wasn't there for one of his fallen comrades that he actually been in programs with. Some of his best matches was against the Wyatt family. I mean, would it have killed? Vince would have sent the jet. Like, come on, man.
Hell, Cody was there.
And Cody wasn't even supposed to be there. Cody flew in for this.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. You got a guy. I don't think Cody worked with Bray. Yeah, well, he was still in the company when Bray first came over as Stardust, so they may have crossed paths, but I don't think they had any.
Nothing significant. Nothing significant.
Nothing of note.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
man.
think Cody was there for the
all I'm
Terry
saying.
Funk tribute, though. He was there for the Terry Funk tribute.
Yeah, I don't know, MD.
But they're doing both. He
did the whole promo. He did the whole promo about Terry Funk on the show.
Well, somebody got to focus on Terry Funk because everything was mainly Bray Wyatt. So I get it.
But I think that's I don't know, man. I damn, man. I think it's low rent, man. I just
Yeah, it's not a good look for Roman Reigns. He better have been at that damn funeral.
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You said something, Roman?
I can acknowledge that he don't work.
You said something? Yeah, man. I don't know, man. He had, and again, I didn't. There were sites that were saying, look at pictures here, but I just don't. I like to look at autopsies and stuff, of people that's been gone for a long time. But when it's fresh like this, nah. And somebody that I like that much, like I've looked at autopsy reports of a lot of celebrities, but I didn't want to mess with it because I don't want to speculate. But I know when Owen Hart died and you saw the picture of the funeral, everybody was there, like everybody. So I don't know. I just think, hell, if Vince McMahon wasn't there, that's a problem.
Yeah. If you remember the Owen funeral, Vince didn't go to Owen's funeral. They sent
he killed him.
JR. They sent JR and they asked JR to get the hell out. Because he said he was there on behalf of WWE.
Yeah, well, that's per the family, though. Yeah, so I mean, it ain't good. It ain't good, but I don't like it. I didn't like it, man. The face of the company has to be there. LA Knight was there. Cody Rhodes was there. The face of the company have to be there. Like, we get it. You're a bad guy. We get it. But this will look the other way for this. I don't know, man. I don't like it. So keeping in respect of Bray Wyatt's funeral. So this was reported by Mika Rotunda, that's Bray Wyatt's sister. So she revealed, and this is per Inside the Ropes Wrestling.com, she revealed the gesture that Dwayne Johnson did for the family. So Dwayne Johnson's incredible generosity to the family of the late WWE superstar Bray Wyatt has been revealed. The sister of Wyatt, real name Wyndham Rotunda, has lifted the lid on the generosity the global megastar since the sad passing of her brother. In a post on the social media site X, is that even a real thing? Twitter, Mike Rotunda noted that Johnson, known in the wrestling world as The Rock, has been ensuring the Rotunda family were supplied with groceries and other essentials as they attempt to come to terms with recent events. And this is from Mika on her Twitter account. Publicly, my family would like to thank The Rock for his kindness, condolences, and the love for the past 2 weeks. Like he did all people, Wyndham had a positive impact on him too, and DJ has kept our fridges and homes, yes, plural, filled with meals and grocery. Love you, Ohana. So again, The Rock just being a stand-up dude is as always. They said that he kept the fridges and stuff filled, and I know how it is when somebody died. When my uncle died not too long ago, the way people were just dropping off food to his wife. And I get it, man, because when you're going through this time, the last thing you're thinking about is cooking, but you have people coming to visit you, so you want to make sure that you have something there for them. So yeah, man, shout out to The Rock. You want to crap on this one too, Venkat?
The Rock's a great guy, man. What are you saying?
Oh, okay. I don't know about you sometimes.
I only call out stuff when it's bad. We are not perfect. I just call it out when it's bad. That's all.
And they say I mean, for 2 weeks, you think about it, man. You're filling people groceries, homes up with grocery, for 2 weeks, man. That's stand up, man. Because it ain't like, I mean, because I know somebody will be like, oh, that's all he did. Come on, Bray Wyatt was a millionaire. I mean, he had money, so that's not something that you had to give them money for. You know, just the fact that he probably sent people to constantly keep everything filled and stuff like that. That's a hell of a gesture, man. That's a hell of a gesture. So you know how I got to segue from this, but I am going to segue moving on. Speaking of The Rock, Nia Jax makes her return.
That was great.
Raw and
that was great.
Attacks Rhea Ripley. So Jax has been gone from WWE since 2021. Nia Jax made her return to WWE. Jax appeared at the end of Monday Night Raw, jumping Raquel Rodriguez, doing the main event between Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship, which actually main evented Raw. Ripley used the opportunity to pin Rodriguez. After the match, Jax attacked Ripley as well, ending the show by giving Ripley the bonsai jump. But hey, I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was
real.
That was a stiff ass.
That was real. She bounced up on her, man.
Hey,
that was real.
Yeah, her feet didn't hit the mat first. Her ass did.
Yep, man. That was real.
When I saw that, I'm like, oh God, don't tell me she hurt another person, man. Because she hit her full force. I hope Rhea's okay. Like, man. So,
hey, Rhea Ripley be manhandling them little girls that's in the ring with her.
Oh, hey, you know,
very braggadocious.
You know what match we're about to have, right? We're about to have a big beefy son of a bitch match. So I'm all for it. These
and Raquel.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, she gonna go through Raquel first. These women gonna beat the hell out of each other, and Shayna Baszler gonna get involved some type of way. Because let me read on further in the story. So since being released from the WWE in 2021, Jax has largely stayed away from pro wrestling. She made an appearance earlier this year in the Women's Royal Rumble match, where she entered at number 30 and was eliminated by a group of women. Jax first signed with the company in 2014 and made it to the main roster by 2016. During her first run in the WWE, Jax held the Raw Women's Championship once, the Women's Tag Team title twice with Shayna Baszler. Her last appearance prior to being released in November 2021 was the Baszler-Jax team splitting up, with Baszler stomping on Jax's arm while it was wedged in steel steps. So, see, she got to have some type of, if they do any continuity, she got to have some payback on her mind for Shayna Baszler, who at least now they letting her be a badass. But Shayna Baszler needs a manager, because listening to her talk is like the worst thing in the world. Like, for her to be such a badass, that voice it's not doing it. It just doesn't work. Doesn't work for me, brother.
That's right.
Doesn't work for me, brother. Not at all.
Destiny is gonna take its course, brother. Brother.
I'm fighting for life, brother.
We've been hanging and banging, bro.
Doesn't work for me, brother. So yeah. So what you guys think about Nia Jax being back? I think a good solid addition to the women's roster that needs somebody that could like stand toe to toe with Rhea.
Yeah, now the matches don't look like it's going to be a foregone conclusion. This is a problem for Rhea Ripley, and now we could have some sort of belief that there's jeopardy, because most of her matches, you pretty much know she's going to win. So
hey, y'all the ones that picked Zelina Vega to beat her in Puerto Rico.
I was wishfully hoping that would happen. That would have been a nice Cinderella story, but you know, reality set in.
I like it, man. I like it. I want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think she got a chip, and I think that's what's gonna make it better. You know what I mean?
Just don't hurt anybody.
Whatever.
I don't know about that. Somebody. I mean, we just got finished talking about the bonsai drug. Like, exactly. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I want to see her wreck something. You know, I mean, she's gonna be stiff. That's just what it is. I mean, that it can toughen up that division, especially on that side. That Raw women's division could be up to something, man. Like you said, you got Nia, you got Zoe Stark, You got Shayna Baszler. You got Rhea Ripley. Like that. Like it could be good. It all depends on them. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm just hoping for the day that I can get a Nia Jax versus Piper Niven.
That's a good one too.
Get them like 10 minutes, just go in there and beat the ever loving hell out of each other. Oh my goodness, man. That yeah, I saw Jade Cargill sent a tweet to Athena and said that you should be on Dynamite wrecking these bitches. And I agree, man. Like Athena, I've seen some of her matches since she's been in AEW. Man, boy, you in for a rough night if you have to work with her. Like she is stiff as man. Woo. Man, whoa. So yeah, but good. I'm happy that Nia Jax is back. So I saw St. Louis put in the chat that Becky Lynch should be beating Rhea instead of going to NXT. I totally disagree. If y'all didn't watch NXT last night, go check it out. That was great. Becky Lynch defeated Tiffany Stratton to become the new NXT Women's Champion, and everybody's gonna be like, oh, why would they do that? They doing that because Tiffany Stratton is the next Charlotte Flair. Tiffany Stratton is the real deal. She has picked this business up fast like Bianca Belair. She has superstar written all over her, so it ain't gonna hurt to have Becky go over there and win the title for a little bit. It's just like when they sent New Day over there to beat the two fluffy guys and put some shine on the NXT title for a little bit. Tiffany Stratton will be on Raw soon, and they did it. It's like a feel good for Becky because now she can say she's a Grand Slam champion because she's never been the NXT champion.
So I put on Facebook that Becky winning the NXT title is like the Denver Nuggets winning the G League title instead of the NBA title. It's not a good look, man. I don't care how you spin that. That's kind of ridiculous. And this is a problem because we're not properly defining things. We have a problem defining Raw, SmackDown champions and contenders. We have a problem defining the tag teams. We have a problem defining everything. Like NXT is supposed to be the playground of the guys coming up. Why are the big stars coming back? That makes no sense. If they come back, they shouldn't be winning titles. Maybe they could do an angle or something. But this idea of like Michael Jordan going to a playground and winning the championship, it makes no sense. Like it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's a good look.
Yeah, I agree with Venkat. If a Raw or SmackDown wrestler goes down to NXT, that's where he's supposed to be at. Ain't no going back to Raw with the NXT title. Like if you're NXT, you're NXT. That's the way I feel. But we all know that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So
it's just a lack of discipline and vision. Like and at that point, things are so blurred and like nothing matters. I just wish they would be more strict with that. Like those are little simple things. Just be consistent. Trevor, right. you also say that as well, So like the rules of the we have to better define what we're seeing here. Like so I'm gonna go back to the garbage league and just win and beat down up and comers and then put my hand up as I'm so great. That doesn't make sense to me. I think it hurts not only NXT, it also hurts the person because it's like you couldn't do anything in the big leagues, in the big division. So you're just like, let me go back and get some kind of glory for these up and comers. It just doesn't look right.
Well, we know that's not the thing with Becky. They and you know why they did it? Wait until the number comes out. Actually, you know what? Let me see the number come out. It's a ratings grab. They did it for the ratings. This number is probably going to be better than all of AEW's 3 shows combined. That's why they did it. But I mean, everybody has their views on it. Like, I get what y'all saying. Like, you got a Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is down there. His new feud is with Braun Breaker. Why Braun Breaker isn't already on the main roster, I have no idea. But Braun Breaker is going to smash Baron Corbin, as he should. They send guys down there that don't get on TV. They don't get on TV. Yeah, Big E is done, St. Louis, and Randy Orton, we have no idea. I heard rumors that he was coming back, but you know what I did hear, MD, that shocked the hell out of me. Do you know that the Authors of Pain are under WWE contract?
Yeah, I heard that too. I had no idea.
Why aren't they on my TV?
I have no idea.
Why isn't that team on my TV with Paul Ellering? Why?
I have no idea. And from what I saw, you know, I'm assuming Nia Jackson and AOP got signed around the same time, which like cut the hiring freeze. So you know what I mean? I don't know.
MD, why is the Authors of Pain not on my TV wrecking dudes with Paul Ellering? Like, that's the question I want to know.
I don't know, man. I guess
Bones,
they're waiting for the right opportunity. I don't know.
Yes, Bones, AOP is back. They are under contract, and they are not using them on TV. But yeah, Becky is going to be the one to take the belt off of Rhea at WrestleMania. Like, we know that's the plan. So they got to keep her busy. Oh, and I know you guys were asking about Trish Stratus. Yeah, she's pretty much done. And they also just re-signed the Dudley Boys back to Legends contracts. And I mean, they'll be coming in doing something. But yeah, that shocked the hell out of me when I found out that AOP was signed. I heard that Monday, and I was like, what? You mean to tell me that the tag division is so stagnant and they got these two legitimate badasses like cage fighters? What are they doing? Just hiding them. What the hell are they doing? I don't know. I really don't know. But all right, so we got through there. Oh man, let's get to you know what? I'll tie that in with the TKO. So the last storyline I got before we get into the TKO stuff is the best wrestler in WWE right now, without a shadow of a doubt. It's not even close. Gunther makes history. Gunther officially becomes the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history on Thursday, surpassing the record previously held by the Honky Tonk Man. WWE recognized the Ring General's accomplishments on X. Why do you have to say that? Formerly known as Twitter.
It's Twitter. I refuse to use X.
And celebrated his 455th consecutive day as IC champion. WWE Hall of Famer and head of creative Triple H also acknowledged Gunther cementing himself as arguably the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. I know Venkat's going to crap on that last line, but
what do you mean? Say that last piece again.
They said that he's officially cemented himself as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
I would agree with that.
What?
Who's better than Gunther?
No,
as the Intercontinental Champion.
I agree.
I mean, there's been some great Intercontinental Champions, but Gunther has the tenure. Gunther has the defenses, the match qualities. You can't argue with him.
Hold on now, Vancat. Hold on. Wrestling wise, I give you, but being the mid-card star is so much more than just in-ring talent. So are you telling me that Gunther is the best complete Intercontinental Champion of all time?
Greatest of all time. If Bret Hart can be considered one of them, I mean, why not Gunther? And Gunther doesn't have to talk you out the building. His talking is done through those chops. God damn.
But that's the role of the mid-card star, though.
But MD Venkat, his talking is so underrated. Y'all listen to that guy's promos, man. He's not with all the foolishness.
Yeah, that's what I like about him. His authenticity, his no nonsense style. I love that. In a world of wrestling where there's all these freaking buffoons, it's refreshing to see a Gunther.
Did y'all see that?
I ain't gonna argue with that.
Did y'all see that championship ceremony? How he came to the ring with so much elegance and stood on the podium, and not for nothing. I thought that segment was tremendous because and for one reason, Chad Gable, because Gable came out and I was hoping, I was like, please don't let him do it. Please don't let him do it. Please don't let him come out and act like a buffoon. And he didn't. He cut a heartfelt promo. And when Gunther told him that he was a terrible father, like that should just send him into into a whirlwind. And he, you know, he was like, I swear to God that I'm going to be the one that beat you for that title. He made me want to see him beat Gunther, because you know Gunther is next in line for the world title. I mean, he had to be. Ain't nobody's on that roster is ready made to be the world champion besides him.
Bones, Mr. Perfect's run was not better than Gunther.
Mr. Perfect, because
even Macho Man and Bret Hart's run were not
Bones, Macho Man is second. Macho Man is the only person I could put in the same category. But Bret Hart is Bones' favorite wrestler, so he's gonna.
Bret Hart was great. He had a great run. He had a great run.
Average at best. He's gonna.
He had a great run.
He's gonna always say Bret Hart. But you're looking at match quality. Like I'm looking at total. This man is a legit, like Honky Tonk Man. You knew everybody could beat him. I don't think he ever won a match clean. But Gunther, you know, he's going to hit you with that damn Last Symphony. He's going to hit you with that power bomb. Then he's going to clothesline your head off. And his match quality has been like superb for somebody that big. They were saying that Vince was going to ruin him, and you know, there was no way that he was going to be able to make it on the roster. This man just lost his first match last week or week before last. And his whole time on the main roster, his first singles match. Like he to me, if he was to lose, as I don't know if him and Gable are going to wrestle at the next pay-per-view Fastlane. They haven't said it yet.
One of the worst titled events of all time.
But if because you know why? Because when it originally came out, it was a pay-per-view before WrestleMania. So
they said, so why is it here?
Is the Fastlane the WrestleMania?
Fastlane the Survivor Series now?
Yeah. Yeah, but it was the Fastlane to WrestleMania. That's why they named it that. And then they had the one called Roadblock that was the Roadblock to WrestleMania, but whatever. But Gunther, I mean, like Gunther, when Gunther loses that title, because it's time for him to lose it now. He done elevated it as high as it can, and it's time for Gunther to go and smash Seth Rollins. I wanted Shinsuke to be the guy to do it, but to me, Shinsuke is just too jokey. You know, like why? Come on, let's think about logic here. Seth Rollins, the wounded champion, is telling the heel, "Hey, won't you come wrestle me for the title right now?" The wounded champion. And Nakamura with a straight face tells him no. Like what heel in their right mind? What, you want the man to get better? You want him to go do back surgery and everything like that and be 100% better? You couldn't beat him when he was messed up. So you want him to get better before you accept the challenge? You got the champion asking the heel challenger to come wrestle me while I'm hurt, and you got the heel saying no. So I want in that match for Gunther to just be like, it ain't going down like that. Chop the hell out of Nakamura and smash Seth Rollins for that title. I agree. And just run with it. Man, Gunther, listen, they got him right. They did him right. They got him right.
How much of that is Triple H versus McMahon though?
Oh no, that's all Triple H.
It's gotta be.
He was Triple H's boy. Because remember, Vince is the one that did the name change. Because you know he was Walter, and they changed him.
That was the best move they could have done.
You know what? Now, because everybody crapped on it when it happened, because they're like, "Oh God, how could you change his name?" But now nobody even remember Walter anymore.
Well, that just sounds silly.
But
especially when you're big and chubby with that kind of body.
it was more. it was more so with the Walter's gonna kill you, but. Nah, the Gunther name is and then the way Samantha Irvin just does his ring announcement. I know y'all don't like her, but man.
No, they didn't say that. Just saying that Howard Finkel is the bomb. Howard Finkel is just amazing.
Yeah, MD don't like her. I don't know why, man.
I agree with Bones. What Bones is saying. Bones is saying the truth there. I mean, that Great Balls of Fire, that has to be Vince McMahon yet again.
Yeah, that was a terrible. And that was when Samoa Joe wrestled.
Samoa Joe, right? With Roman Reigns. Yeah.
But that Gunther reminds me a lot of William Reed. Yeah, man, let me tell you, man, Gunther did a sleeper suplex to Gable. And when he did it, I just put my hand in my head and I was like, oh God, he killed him. He just broke his neck. Bro, the man is so awesome. I keep telling y'all, you want to watch the most violent, poetic wrestling match you'll ever see, Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov. Watch the one that was during the COVID, so it was in the empty arena, so you could hear every single hit and punch and chop, and then watch the one where Dragunov beat him for the title. Bro, those are like the two best matches that you can ever watch. If you love strong style, that's your match you want to watch. Dragunov is another one that is badass, man. I'm not gonna lie, I want him to take the NXT title from Carmelo. Because Dragunov is just that good. I mean, Melo is money, but man, Dragunov is awesome. Just awesome.
Yeah, hey, and to that point, a lot of that has to do with the with his opponents. Like Ricochet can put Gunther over good. We just saw Chad Gable can put him over good. A lot of it's got to do with the guys he's going up against, and that ain't no shot at Gunther. I'm just saying, like they matching him up with some good opponents.
That sounded like a shot, man.
No, I get what MD's saying. I agree with MD. I agree with MD on that.
Him and Clunk. Did you see his matches with Pete Dunne? Well, Butch, whatever they call him. Fantastic. Him and Sheamus, as clunky as Sheamus is, they had like match of the year.
Wait a minute, hold on. Sheamus is not that bad.
No, I didn't say he was bad. I didn't say he was bad. He's clunky. Sheamus is not. MD named Ricochet and all them guys that's so fluid in the ring. Sheamus isn't that. Sheamus is clunky and you're gonna get hurt if you step wrong.
But that's a different kind of match though, Trump. They was beating the hell out of each other. That's a different type of match. You know what I'm saying? So that's good.
Yeah.
I won't knock Sheamus for that.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch all them, like Gunther, man.
Hey, speaking of these bad pay-per-view names, I'm starting to question. So Vince McMahon got a lot of credit. Royal Rumble is not his thing, though. He didn't come up with that event. Did he come up with Survivor Series? I wonder.
Vince McMahon didn't come up with the concept. I don't know if he didn't come up with the name. Pat Patterson made the match.
Right.
I don't know who named it.
I mean, outside of WrestleMania. In the Big Four, did he make up SummerSlam? Because like those are the best names, but then when you go deeper into their catalog of events, some pretty trash ass event names, man.
I mean, because Hog Wild was so great.
Well, I never agree with it. I never agree with that. I never agree with that one. I'm just saying.
He did have some badass names, like some of them In Your House pay-per-views.
Oh my God. I hated the In Your House concept.
You ain't like In Your House?
No, it sounds silly.
Man.
Let's not forget this Tuesday in Texas.
Oh Lord. That was baffling.
All right, so yeah, man, but shout out to Gunther, man. So I want to get into one more thing before we get into the main event. This is just real quick. Per PW Insider. No, this is okay. So this is from an article from Forbes.com, but it's from PW Insider. PW Insider reports that WWE is either in the final stages of signing LA Knight to a long-term contract or already has inked the rising star to a new deal that could keep him with the company for another 5 years. So the last thing I heard, I want to say Monday, is that they're just haggling over the time. Because WWE is trying to get them to a 5-year deal when normally they did like 3 to 4 year deals. So that's part of the reason why the push has been stagnant, just because they're waiting for him to sign. And the rumor is once he signs on the dotted line, then the mega push begins. So McIntyre, on the other hand, still has yet to re-sign with the WWE. According to Pro Wrestling Insider, Seth Rollins, The Miz, they're all nearing the end of their contract. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't resign, especially the Miz. WWE is looking to lock LA down for the long haul, but Drew McIntyre's contract situation is an entirely different story. PW Insider reports that WWE is either in the final stage of signing Knight to a long-term contract or has already inked the rising star to okay, I already saw that.
So they're saying that Drew McIntyre is not a done deal?
I thought it was.
I thought it was over with.
I had a report saying that he wasn't particularly happy about something.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to what he's not happy about.
Oh, it's obvious what he's not happy about.
So just as Knight's popularity and merchandise sales continue to skyrocket, McIntyre's stock keeps trending downward. At WrestleMania 39, the former two-time WWE champion was pinned by Gunther in the triple threat match. I mean, he should have. Gunther shouldn't have lost that match. Not to McIntyre. If he was going to lose, he should have lost it to Sheamus. He would have then been off TV for several months, reported for multiple reasons, including a minor contract dispute. His desire to return with a strong storyline and a needed break from to heal injury. So part of it was injuries, but he wanted to be in a meaningful storyline. So since returning to WWE programming, McIntyre has put over Gunther at SummerSlam and then taken a step down the card into a mid-card tag team match with Matt Riddle. Oh God, did you guys see what happened with Matt Riddle over the weekend? If McIntyre was hoping to get some quality storytelling upon his return, he hasn't got much, instead being used to help elevate other talents on Raw. So let me get through this. Whether WWE use high-profile wrestlers in such role that typically implies that said wrestler could be on their way out of the company. At the very least, it's on shaky ground. There is nothing definitive regarding McIntyre's future, however, as his contract doesn't officially expire until early 2024, so Mania time. But the real question here, okay, so this is going to tie into the next story. But the real question here is whether McIntyre will be a priority for WWE, which is expected to make as much as $50 million cost-cutting move upon completion of the merger with UFC under Endeavour. So shedding McIntyre's salary could certainly go a long way towards WWE reaching that goal. If the company doesn't view him as someone who should be paid among its highest stars, it's probably a fair comparison to say that McIntyre is in the same ballpark as Edge, who was recently making $3 million. God, $3 million for Edge. That's a lot. Making $3 million a year and could be on his way out of the WWE and into AEW himself. Another star in a comparable spot on the card would be Kevin Owens, who is reportedly earning $2 to $3 million and is like McIntyre, a top star on Raw. However, McIntyre has cooled off a bit in his character, which might explain why he appears to be in the early stages of a heel turn. So that's basically them just saying Drew McIntyre, his deal is up in 2024. So all right, Venkat, because I don't get in people's pockets. I don't have a lot to say about it. You don't let a Drew McIntyre walk. That's all. Right. That you don't let a Drew McIntyre. And it's funny because on Raw, Xavier made the comment, which was odd. I mean, I love the comment though, because I love when they blend reality. He told him that you're jealous of Kofi because Kofi had a moment in front of 80,000 people and you were the champion when nobody was in the arenas. Like that's
that you can see that hurting right there, bro.
That one hurt. Like that one hurt for me, man. But Drew, I'm a Drew fan, and if they let Drew walk, that's just another stupid move. Like in the words of Randy Orton, stupid. So what you got on that? What you guys got on that?
They need to let him go full blown heel.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. But he's teasing it though. He's teasing it.
Do you think it's gonna be a good run if he's a heel though?
Yes, he's much better as a heel. Has
he been a heel before?
Absolutely.
In WWE, not in Impact.
Absolutely. That's when he was.
Yeah, when he was the chosen one, right? Yeah, when he was with Vince.
Well, no, I'm talking. No, I mean since he came back. Remember, he was the one who was touting putting Roman Reigns out. He was a heel. And the only reason they started heating him up is because everybody wanted to see somebody that could actually beat Brock Lesnar. So that's when they ended up turning him. But I mean, he's a good face, and he likes being a face because the merchant, baby faces make more money in merchandise. But remember,
don't look right.
Drew is big. Yeah, he does. Yeah, for somebody that looks like that, he should be a heel. Drew is big on like the Special Olympics and all that type of stuff. He really does that type of stuff in real life. And the company notoriously doesn't send heels to do that type of promo work. So I think he might get some pushback on that because he really enjoys doing that.
Yeah, I say, man. Like I said, make him heel, give him the old Broken Dreams music, and have him go back to what he was supposed to be when he got to WWE. That's what I say.
But if I agree. He's. I mean, I love the heels more anyway, but I think heel Drew is better Drew, and because you have more people that could chase Seth. And we still don't know what they're doing with this trade thing. Like they mentioned it, and now nothing. So like, in what capacity? So if me and you make a trade, don't you expect the trade compensation right away?
Yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah,
that's how trades work, right?
That's what I thought.
So how come
and they call it they call it compensatory trade.
So how come SmackDown hasn't gotten their compensation yet?
I have no idea.
I mean, that's your out. Just send Cody over there and say, hey, y'all got Jay, we get Cody. That's it. And if you want to throw somebody else in the mix, do that too. But I mean,
you can immediately put him in a storyline with Jimmy. Immediately.
They literally making this harder than it had to be. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You got 2 weeks in, nothing. They're not even mentioning it anymore. You don't even know. Like they expected us to forget, but I don't know. So
as usual.
All right. So Venkat, is this video a good place now? Uh-oh. Who was that?
Hold on, Trevor. Hold on.
Yeah, let me look at some of these.
Okay, Trevor, what you were saying now? Sorry.
No, I said, is this a good place for the video now? We're gonna go into the TKO.
Oh yeah. Start off and then it can lead into the stuff. That'll be great.
So yeah, St. Louis is saying that's who they need to put Gunther with. Brock. That was the plan. They were heating Gunther and Brock up, and then they decided Brock and Bray. Brock didn't want to do it, and then he went with Omos, and it's. Hey, Gunther need to be the world champion. That's all I'm saying. If Gunther is the world champion, then he immediately elevates that title more.
Hell yeah. The damage of Roman, yeah.
I'm a Seth Rollins fan, but I mean that belt needs to be a heel needs to be the champion.
Oh wait a minute, hold on. You're saying Gunther should get Seth's title, not
he's on Raw. I'd love to see him beat Roman, but he's on Raw.
We just talked about it NXT. Like it doesn't matter where anybody's. They ain't consistent.
Hey, they could be like, hey, why is Imperium over here on SmackDown?
Exactly.
The car got detoured to the thing.
Exactly.
And what are they doing with DIY? Like, what's taking so long to put them back together? Now Tommaso Ciampa is getting into Imperium's face, which, hey, I'm never against that. Because if y'all watch that NXT, Tommaso Ciampa versus Gunther, man, that was that was a banger. But Tommaso
imagine Gunther being the world champion with that introduction that they do.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
It's next level stuff, man.
That guy is a total package, and he's the one guy that you could never cheer for him. Like on the show, I mean, we cheer for him because he's awesome, but I mean, he's the one guy that's never going to be a babyface. Like you'll never look at him and be like, oh yeah, that's our babyface champion. No,
right.
That's the nasty foreign heel.
Yeah,
that's the guy that. And now what you do, you got a long list of guys that want to try to beat him. You could give him a Tommaso Ciampa for a program. You could give him a Johnny Gargano. You could heat up Ricochet and give him a Ricochet. Seth could feud with him for a few months. Like the possibilities are endless when you have a champion like that. Like that guy should be champion.
right. Yep.
So, oh
I
man,
want to see Gunther win the Royal Rumble next year.
yeah. I mean, oh, speaking of Royal Rumble, they just announced it that it's going to be in Tampa. It's going to be in Tampa this year. Apparently,
Tampa.
Apparent because Orlando put in a bid. So this was interesting. Orlando put in a bid to get it, but they only bid $850,000. So Tampa won the bid. So they probably bid $1 million for it. So it's going to be at wherever the I think the Tampa Bay Devil Rays play.
Raymond James?
No, it's not. No, Raymond James is one of the most expensive expensive venues in the country. Like once you have something there, the ticket price is almost double. So they're gonna have they're gonna have it where the Tampa Bay Rays play. So what is that called? Like something Bakersfield?
I don't know. I think they got like a retractable. I think they do.
What's the capacity in that arena?
Probably about 40,000.
Yeah.
It's a baseball stadium, so you know they big. And with WWE putting in a stage and everything, they may scale it down to 25, and then they'll tell us they got 100 in there. Real quick, MD. You know we always got to do our segue. So this is my one segue before we get into the TKO sidebar. I promise we'll keep this at 2.5 hours. We got a whole hour to talk about the TKO stuff. Real quick. What do you think about this thing going around the NFL that all these players are getting hurt because of the turf, and they're trying to get all the stadiums to go to natural grass, which I agree with.
Yeah, I ain't going for that. What I think it's conditioning. That's me. I'm not going for the whole turf thing. I think it's conditioning.
But there's stats out there that show you these players are getting their knees blown up because of the turf, though.
So who's paying for that?
I mean,
not the city.
No, the team would have to pay for that.
What?
Then take the first left.
I don't know because
right.
Like
I mean, well, not necessarily because a lot of. No, I was gonna say real quick. A lot of the teams don't own their stadiums, like some do, but a lot of teams don't own those stadiums.
So okay, Venkat could appreciate this. Your employees that's making you all this money, making you billions of dollars, the most popular sport in the country. Notice I said the country, not the world. The most popular sport in the country. You're making billions of dollars. You're paying your employees a fraction of what you're making. They're telling you, hey, this turf is no good on my knees. It's blowing out our knees, our body parts. Everybody's getting turf toe. It's shown that teams that play on turf have more injuries. You don't acquiesce and go to natural grass?
Who's paying for it? Not Mexico.
No. The owners have to pay for it. What you mean?
Okay,
not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. Not necessarily.
See, that's what MD said.
A lot of owners don't own these stadiums. A lot do, but some don't. For instance, Lambeau Field. The Packers don't own Lambeau Field.
Yeah, the city.
You know, Lambeau Field is the city of Green Bay owns Lambeau.
Yeah, the fans own that. That's a fan-owned team.
Right. So, with that being said, do you think the fans gonna go for higher PLCs to put some grass in rather than turf?
MD, if you could, let's look. Come on, let's look at this now. The World Series is coming to not the World Series. The World Cup is coming here in 2 years. I think that
we got games in Atlanta. There's games all over the country.
But the World Series, keep saying the World Series. The World Cup is going to be here. It's going to be here in a few years. You know the stadium that they're having it at. was a turf stadium, but guess what? The soccer players was like, we ain't playing on that. We don't play on that. We need natural grass. So guess what the owners of the NFL stadium did? They brought in natural grass. So you can't tell me that they're doing this for the World Cup, but their players that's making them millions and billions of dollars is saying, hey, you're messing up my body. You're taking years off my career. Y'all can't meet in the middle somewhere?
I'm not disagreeing. Go ahead, MD.
You're talking about the World Cup final game, right? Because I know they having the World. Huh?
They are having the World Cup here. What they just had that Argentina just won, or whoever the hell just won, they are having that in the United States. In like a year.
Well, yeah, I know that, but it's going to be several games. It's going to be several games in a lot of different places.
And all those places.
Okay, well, I don't know what they have in the World Cup.
Are getting grass.
No.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
They really don't value NFL players.
Indeed, they are. The Raiders. The Raiders. You know they have a field that can go into the ground, right? They have a retractable field, and they could put the grass on.
Yeah. What they call leave it. I forget what they call it.
So they absolutely are doing it. And you know, whenever they play the Super Bowl, you know they have a guy that all he does all year is grow Super Bowl grass, and he charges the NFL $20 million for it. You know that, right? And they fly it in and they put it wherever the damn stadium is.
Know that.
Wait a minute. Why did they go to the turf anyway? What was the reason?
Because it's cheaper.
Oh my God, it's so.
Because Venkat, look, you don't have to. Okay, I'm gonna bring it right home. I love these sidebars. I'm gonna bring it right home. I haven't had to water my grass in 3 months because it's been raining like crazy here, and my grass has been so plush, and I got a big ass yard front and back. I haven't had to water my grass in 3 months. Well, guess what? We haven't had no rain in a while, so now my grass is starting to need some attention and some maintenance. So now I'm gonna have to start putting some water on it. And that's what the NFL is saying. Like, we got to pay somebody to fertilize. We got to oversee it. We got to do the maintenance on it. The turf is cheaper in the long run because you don't have to do anything to it.
I don't know, man. It just seems like they did something like that without fully thinking about it. So now, not only did they pay for the turf, now they're going to have to potentially pay to get the grass back when they could have just kept the grass and kept it rolling and just kept the expense up. So I don't know. That's an ill-conceived idea. And I was thinking about, sometimes when you try to save money, you end up spending more money than what you originally intended to.
And look what Bones is saying. He's saying, man, change that shit. Too many players getting hurt. Because you know that's what they're blaming Aaron Rodgers' injury on.
I'm sure. It's just a crazy thing. I just want to know who paying for it, because I don't feel the cities are usually held like, hey, if you don't get us a new arena, we're going to this other state or wherever, you know. They moved the location.
Thank you.
So I don't like that.
That goes back to my point. A lot of these teams are not.
Who owns the Mercedes? What y'all call them? Mercedes-Benz Superdome?
Mercedes, Arthur Blank, our owner owns Mercedes-Benz. He had it built. But I'm saying a lot of teams are not like that.
Just like Hard Rock Stadium is owned, you know, well, you know what? Stephen Ross may not own the whole thing.
A lot of stadiums, the owners don't own the stadium. The city does most of the time.
But think about the bullshit. Think about this though, MD. And I okay, so if the owners don't own the stadium, like what concessions are made when your commodity? There is no NFL if you don't have the NFL players. Like what concessions are made? So who gets, speaking of concessions, because Dolphin Stadium is expensive as hell, man. I went there for the Jet game, and man, the amount of money we spent there. So who, if the city's getting paid off of the concessions and ticket sales and stuff like that, then they damn sure better put in a new field. They better put in a new field. That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I get your point. I get what you're saying. Me personally, I would rather have the turf there because there's a faster. That's just me. That was the whole point of turf going in the first place. Yeah, it is cheaper, but you're not getting defensive linemen running a 4-4 around a tackle on grass. It ain't happening.
Is
You know what I'm saying?
Ricardo trolling here? He's like, nah, Bones, that don't cut it. Americans are world champions in the NFL.
But that's true.
So
like,
how in America everybody's a world champion? They don't go step a foot outside America, but they decide they're going to be world champions.
But all America cares about is football, though. So wouldn't you, bro? Man, listen, to hell with that. Aaron Rodgers shouldn't have got hurt on the 4th play of the game. That's ridiculous, man. And the
NFL should be doing everything possible to make sure. I mean, it's 2023. This should have already been done. They should have already had tests and studies done about what is going to take the least effect on these players so that they don't get hurt as easily.
So the
fact that this turf thing is just being identified is ridiculous.
So what Van Cat want is everybody put on the Goodyear Tire Man suit and go play football that way, bro. This is football, man.
I'm not saying
this
that.
This is football. People get hurt. It's been going on for 100 years now.
No, what I'm saying,
I wouldn't expect the individualist to give a damn about the commodity that he's cheering. I bet you the Georgia Bulldogs players start tearing knees left and right. I bet you'll have a problem then.
I'm gonna feel some type of way. I would say, hey, you need to get your ass in the conditioning room, and this wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Nah, hell no.
That's what I'm gonna say.
What I'm saying is they should have already known about this, and they should be able to make these assessments ahead of time before making any big decision like that, changing out the grass. That's a little thing that gives a big price tag. And people got hurt on the way. You shouldn't have to wait for 2, 3, 4, 5 people or more to get hurt to be like, oh, you know what? I think the turf is hurting everybody's knees. Like, come on, man, it's crazy.
But
this should have been done.
Y'all, I think y'all missing the point. When the majority of these injuries happen within the first 4 weeks of the season. Why? Because they half-assing in training camp and during the preseason.
Man,
players didn't play preseason. Aaron Rodgers did not do anything until week 1.
No, but MD, that point you're making could be right, but still, the turf issue would also help them as well. So why?
Well, if you get on the turf and do something before the game, maybe that will help.
Man, who is this monster that I'm on?
MD is like with an iron fist. He's like Dr. Doom. My God.
Now, if y'all quarterback was worth a damn and he went down to a turf issue, I mean, if y'all was in the middle of a Super Bowl run, okay, let's bring it right home. Matt Ryan in his prime, or hell, the year y'all went to the Super Bowl. If Matt Ryan was MVP season taking y'all to the Super Bowl, he plants his foot on turf. Man, you'll have a damn fit. I don't want to hear that.
Matt Ryan's too smart to do anything like that. I'm not worried about it. Matt Ryan was only injured one time throughout his whole career because he's smart. He gets out there and does what he got to do before the game. He goes to walk.
Put that comment from Bones on the thing, and you read that, MD, because I don't know. Man,
I'm not a doc, but I don't think the Achilles tear had anything to do with conditioning. It was way he landed. Go back and watch that. Show me anything that now I'm not disputing. I'm not disputing what happened to his Achilles. It's a complete tear. I get it. You're not going to be able to show me when it happened at any point of that play. What I'm telling you is this: if you have a complete Achilles tear where you're not conditioned to be on the turf that y'all arguing about, and you said just say the hell with training camp, the hell with walkthroughs, the hell with preseason, I'm gonna do this ayahuasca and I'm gonna go out on the field and play, then more likely than not, you're gonna sustain some type of injury.
I don't know, man.
Nobody's bigger than the team. Get your ass out there in preseason and work.
There's a guy on YouTube that I watch, Flimlo Raps, a black dude. He covers a lot. He does a lot of NFL stories and stuff like that. And he did a whole video on like turf alone, turf versus grass. And he showed the charts and everything, you know, of all the injuries being caused on turf. So this man did the research. So y'all make sure and, you know, go look him up, man. Flemlo Raps. He's a good ass YouTuber. But I don't know, man. I just feel like if the Georgia Bulldogs is heading to another title and they quarterback get hurt because he played on that stupid blue turf in Boise, Idaho. And I bet, man, I couldn't imagine how pissed off you'll be.
The blue turf is awesome.
It looks good on TV, but and most players, and what do most players say about that too with that turf, that is like hitting concrete when they fall.
That ain't true. My kids play on turf.
MD, they all say it. Like, what you talking about? I ain't making this up.
My kids play on turf. And when you go out on the field, on a turf field,
do your kids got the one bar on their face mask too?
No, when you go out and walk on the field, all it is the little rubber pellets. It actually feels better on up under your feet than grass would. So the speed that you have on turf is phenomenal compared to grass.
I could tell you an SEC fan. You
take the spike. You take spike. Don't forget about spikes. If you on grass, then you got to wear spikes.
All you care about is speed.
What about those injuries? The spike injuries that they used to have all the time. Come on, y'all can't argue me down by football. I know the game too much, man.
So MD, you besides trucking, you also own a sweatshop, right?
No, I ain't got no sweatshop.
You rule with an iron fist, like God.
Hey, Venkat,
you don't want to play. You don't want to play.
Venkat, imagine if they were Islanders on the football team. Guy, can you imagine what he would be saying to them?
Yeah. A lot of y'all don't play. Yeah, football. A lot of y'all don't play football.
You don't know the plight of NFL players growing up. When I played, you don't know. You can't identify with our football over here. Y'all used to kick cans down the street and stuff. Hey, man. All right, so that was our segue. So let's
great sidebar.
So let's get into the main event. But guess what? We'll be right back.
They gotta feel that I can never make it rain, but fine, I make it drizzle. Digging for some change, I got some dimes and some nickels. I can never make it rain, but fine, I make it drizzle. Digging for some change, I got some dimes and some nickels. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dimes. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dimes. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dimes. I'm broke as a joke and I hope I don't lose my mind. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dimes. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dime. Give me the pennies, the nickels, the quarters, the dollars, the dime. I'm broke as a joke and I hope I don't lose my mind. Just got paid, but I'm broke. You think that it's a joke? It's really hard to cope when you feel like there's no hope. When your funds running low and your pockets looking slim, you don't know which way to go or which way to begin. Looks can be deceiving. What gave you that impression? Live in my position before you ask me questions. Why you jumping to conclusions? Illusions is not healthy. Through all of the confusion, I can't find a soul to help me. Stand alone through the rain, stand alone throughout the drought. Look in my pocket for some change, but ain't a thing coming out. Bills piling up, collectors calling to collect it. All my money gone way before I get my check. Man, see, this is what we deal with.
And we're back. Sometimes y'all just got to ride out to the stylistic sounds of the silent assassin. Oh, man. Hey, Venkat, you know what I was thinking? I don't know if one day, probably on his birthday next year, if you want to do another show where we just like play a bunch of music and stuff.
Well, that'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I was thinking about that. Thank you, baby. All right, so now it's time for the main event. See, look at that. We got an hour and 15 minutes. We good on time right now, so we can take our time with this. So let's check out this video.
Joining me now is Endeavour CEO Ari Emanuel, COO Mark Shapiro, discussing in part the new company and their new roles. Thank you, guys. That was one of the reasons why I think WWE gravitated towards your offer. You talked about 50 to 100 million when you announced the deal. You know, Jessica Reif Ehrlich in her note thinks it could be 200 million. Is that accurate?
Well, I think there's we had a range of 50 to 100 with regard to back office and costs. We're on our way to kind of doing that. We did that with the UFC. We are on our way here. There's also savings as it relates on the production side because of their production facility, our production facility at the UFC. This is a pure play sports play. You know, there's nothing more important than sports content and live events. We do 350 live events with production. We have a billion in fan base. The global reach of both is incredible, and you can't underestimate the value of TV rights domestically and internationally, and also the sponsorship. You know, without UFC inside EDR, everything's valued at a little bit less. I think it will give everybody a pure play there also.
Right.
And both companies have about less than 3 times leverage.
Are you going to get that down? I mean, this is a free cash flow generating company. Right,
yeah,
Mark?
Both companies will be a juggernaut in that respect. I mean, free cash flow conversion at TKO will be around 61%. And, of course, Endeavour will be strong. I mean, remember, when this thing started, we were, 8 times levered, just about 8 times levered. And now we're below 3. So healthy balance sheet, scale, growth, profitability.
Return of capital to Endeavour, which owns 51%. Are you going to be getting a significant dividend over time?
Well, we've already announced our capital return initiatives, as you know, a stock buyback program to the tune of $300 million on the Endeavour side, and, of course, our first dividend. So look for more of that in the years to come.
All right. So that's a quick little video put together just so you guys know what happened today. So let me just go through a couple of notes, and then we'll stop and talk about it, because here's the deal. I'm going to be coming from this totally as a wrestling fan. I know MD will be doing more of the business side and that, because y'all know that's what MD does. I'm curious to hear Venkat's view, but I'm coming from this from a business point, a wrestling fan point of view. And what do I think it means for the company that I've been watching since I was 5 years old? So let me, and MD said he'll be right back. So from the headlines, and this is from Variety magazine, variety.com, WWE officially merges to form TKO Group, new stock to start trading. Endeavour owns 51% of newly created sports and entertainment company. Vince McMahon holds 16.4%. So, first of all, let's because we this is this is crazy. Like in the world, the WWE's been around. Not in this incarnation. It was the CWC, the Capital Wrestling Company corporation that his dad started. What was it, Venkat, back in like the 60s? Oh, both of y'all are gone? Oh, no.
Oh, I had my mute. I had mute on. I'm sorry. Yeah, in the 60s, yeah. And the Worldwide Wrestling Federation is what it used to be called.
So then in 1980, Vince McMahon purchases the company from his dad. So this is 1980, and I had the exact date.
1982.
Okay, so here, let me just read
this
on the
screen.
So the promotion was founded in 1953 as a Capital Wrestling Corporation. This is his dad. A northeastern company territory of the National Wrestling Alliance. Following a dispute, CWC left the NWA and became the Worldwide Wrestling Federation in 1963. After rejoining the NWA in 71, the WWF was renamed to the World Wrestling Federation in 1979 before the promotion left the NWA for good in 1983. So in 2002, following a legal dispute with the Worldwide Fund, where the World Wildlife Fund, the WWF was renamed to World Wrestling Entertainment, blah, blah, blah. So this is the most important part. This is really what I wanted to pick out of this. Prior to September 2023, yesterday, the company's majority owner was its executive chairman, third generation wrestling promoter, Vince McMahon, who retained the 38.6% ownership of the company's outstanding stock and 81.1% of the voting power. The current entity, which was originally named Titan Sports Inc., was incorporated February 21st, 1980 in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts, but reincorporated under Delaware General Corporation law in 1987. It acquired Capital Wrestling Corporation Limited, the holding company for the WWF, in 1982. Titan was renamed World Wrestling Federation Entertainment, and in 1999, the World Wrestling Entertainment in 2002. So again, for 4 decades, this company has been owned by a McMahon, and he bought the company in 82 from his dad for $1 million, which I think at the time he had to get a loan for it.
Right.
And here we are in 2023. He now stands to make sells the company for $9.3 billion from Endeavour. Now let's not get this twisted. Vince McMahon is an old man. Like that, we don't know how much longer he has on the earth. So just right off the bat, right now, what do you, and we're strictly talking business, to keep all the personal stuff out of it. We're strictly talking business. Do you think this is a good business move if you were a businessman?
Yeah, it is. It's a great business move. It really is. I mean, you first of all, you got a hell of a return on your original investment.
Yeah.
You're older guy. You don't have to worry about the needs and the wants of the fans and the viewing public. You know, the viewing and consumption style of how people are viewing product or media is completely changing from a day-to-day basis. So a lot of this is like declining viewership, and you know, we just talked about the worst rated Raw just happened recently, the last episode. So yeah, he doesn't have to worry about none of those things. He can get his major payout. He's an older guy, so he'll be good. And he sets up his immediate family. Now, would it be a nice story to be like, oh, Stephanie McMahon took it over, and then her kids are taking it over? And yeah, that would sound nice and cuddly, but there's a lot that can go wrong. I mean, in the last 20 years, we've had the Great Recession, we've had COVID pandemic, we've had inflation, we've had all these weird things that are happening. Nothing is definite or nothing is promised. So he made a concrete deal, and he's going to get his billions. So, yeah, that was a great move on his part from the business angle.
So because the deal went down, and I got some particulars, we're getting some particulars, but I don't know if MD's back. I can't see. Because the deal went down, the dividend payout happened right then and there. So you get a $3, I think it was like a $3.82 per share dividend payout. Well, Vince McMahon owned some ridiculous amount. I forget how much it was. So he ended up at the close of the deal getting over $100 million payout just on dividends alone. So this guy just stay winning. Triple H got a $5 million payout. Nick Khan got probably a $10 million payout. Like, I mean, this is just the gift that just keeps on giving. So
right.
So business wise, I think, MD, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad. I was in the store. My bad. I
don't want to move too far before we get. So as a businessman, because I know this is your lane. As a businessman, he bought the company from his dad for $1 million. He just sold the company for $9.3 billion. As strictly a business move, nothing personal. You think this was a good deal?
Yeah, strictly as a business move. Yeah, of course. I mean, I can't even count the profit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, as strictly as a business move, yeah, of course it was a great business decision. I mean, you now you know me. Mergers create antitrust, so I got an issue with that. But
Well,
hey,
we gonna get there, but so because I want to just go through all the top stuff real quick, and he just, like I said, he got a $100 million dividend payout today. So 9.3 billion. How much of that you think he's gonna get after everything goes through? He's probably gonna clear what, about $6 billion.
Yeah, it should be something like that.
Yeah, still not a bad deal. So
Yeah,
we did.
If we look
I
at
got
it
the
like
link, Bones. I'll get you the link.
So we did a show. We did a show over on the arena. When the news of this potential sale first came out, and we were throwing out companies like Disney and all these other companies. I think it was a telecommunication company wanted to buy them, and it was weird that they went with the Endeavour deal because the Endeavour deal wasn't necessarily the highest bid, but it's been coming out that the reason why they may have went with the Endeavour deal, because wasn't the Saudis offering like a $12 billion cash deal that was on the table, is because Vince McMahon is now being retained as the chairman of the company. So at the end of the day, whatever you guys want to say about him, he's terrible and he's a terrible human being and this and that. This guy was forced to resign. You had to mute that noise, Bones. This guy was forced to resign from his company back in June, last year, June. He forced his way back to facilitate this sale. He got in bed with somebody now to say, yeah, you could buy my company, but you retain me as, kind of what they call him, emeritus. Like he's basically just the figurehead. So you don't get the WWE without the face of the WWE, which is not Roman Reigns, it's Vince McMahon. And I still get the pocket $6 billion on top of that. I mean, and I know my co-hosts don't like him and blah blah blah. I just want to acknowledge the man's business acumen right now. That's before we go any further. I just want to acknowledge his business acumen, because that's a deal, man. And he's in his 70s, so he ain't gonna be here much longer. Like that's
yeah, I think. What happened?
Venkat fell off.
I wonder how Stephanie McMahon feels about it, though. Like, because I'm sure they were looking at it as like they were going to run the company. So now you got this situation. I don't know. I really would like to hear her speak about that. Like, how does she feel about this? Does she feel slighted in any way? Because again, you're saying he got this great deal, but again, he's not going to be alive. So who does it matter? What does it matter? It just end up being to them. But I think they would rather have the company and keep the legacy, because you don't know what can change in this TKO UFC. The minds and the people that are involved right now can change, just like it did for WCW with the Time Warner crap. So you just don't know.
Good point, Venkat.
Hey, Trevor, can you hear me good or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm real disappointed because I just feel like eventually it's gonna start crossing over, and I love UFC so much, and I love WWE so much. I don't want to see too much crossover stuff happening. I feel like the UFC should stick with just being UFC and MMA stuff, and WWE should stick with WWE and doing wrestling stuff.
The only way I would see it crossing over if Vince McMahon had more power than he does, but he doesn't.
Right.
But it could be good though, as far as like the UFC people that are older, that are like, okay, I've had enough of this. By the time they get to that point, they could come right over to WWE and have yet another career. And
I would be okay with that as long as they're not trying to do both at the same time. Like no active UFC fighter shouldn't be trying to, compete at a Royal Rumble or something like that.
Right. Yeah, that would probably hurt their standing in the sport,
Yeah,
really. Because now
because
you'd be
like
looking like a clown.
just for example, look at the Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler match. They tried to do like an MMA style match, and it just came off like terrible, you know. So, in a lot of ways, MMA it doesn't really translate too well to a certain extent with certain things when it comes to wrestling, you know, because you can't fake fight, you know. So it just kind of look awkward when you have an MMA match in a wrestling setting.
Yeah, I'll say this to Venkat point about Stephanie. Remember, before the allegations came out with Vince, Stephanie backed away. She said, "Hey, look, I'm backing away. You know, blah blah blah, this and that." When the reports came out that Vince was leaving, she came right back. Now all of a sudden she gone again.
Yeah,
I think it's something to it. I don't think Triple H and Stephanie necessarily wanted it to go down this way, but I think for the most part Triple H accepted because of the position that he's in.
Yeah.
Stephanie, on the other hand, I don't think she's rocking with it. That's just my opinion.
Well, let me, because I took all these damn notes, so y'all won't let me read my damn notes. So let me go back to this variety.com. So he says the marriage between UFC and WWE is complete. Endeavour and WWE will announce their close the deal to create TKO Group Holdings, merging the wrestling entertainment company and the MMA leader UFC. The hope is that by tag teaming as a unified force, UFC and WWE together will become stronger than they could be separately. TKO together boasts more than 1 billion fans around the world, reaching viewers in 180 countries and producing more than 350 annual live events. Because I don't need to go through all this, but the WWE, the shares, we pretty much know that. Okay, so Vince McMahon, former CEO of WWE, assumes the role of executive chairman of TKO Group. Under the terms of the deal, McMahon, who was WWE's controlling shareholder, will own 16.4% of the economic interest in TKO and 16.4% of the voting power in the new entity. McMahon stepped down as WWE's chief executive in 2022 amid an investigation by the company's board into alleged hush money payments to women who have accused him of sexual misconduct. McMahon returned to the company in January 2023 as executive chairman to head up efforts to sell WWE. So now we get into the nitty gritty. I'm almost done. According to Endeavour, the TKO deal will result in an estimated 50 million to 100 million in annualized run rate cost synergies, including by migrating WWE to Endeavor's back office infrastructure. The cost savings target presumably will include layoffs at UFC and WWE. Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there because now here's the downside. Because we always, I just lauded all the great things. UFC has about 400 employees, and we're not talking about the fighters. UFC has about 400. See, Venkat, no, don't put his picture up yet because I want his picture is going to go with a specific part in my report. UFC has 400 employees. WWE has about 800 employees. These are just like employees, production staff, office staff, stuff like that, not including the wrestlers. That's what, 1,200 people. You don't need all those people now. So now here's a company just made $9.3 billion and they boast that they're worth over $22 billion. Now they're about to let go probably 600 people. So,
hey Trevor, I have a question. I heard you reading the numbers about Vince McMahon. What about Dana White? Like, what's his percentage?
I haven't got there yet. Y'all gotta let me rock. So I want to stop right there about the layoffs though, because about 600 people are going to lose their job.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier. That was gonna be my point earlier. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of firings coming up.
I don't think it's going to be that many people, because the only positions that I see that's going to be in jeopardy is the administrative side. You still need pretty much everybody else on the wrestling side. You still need your agents. You still need your guys, your production guy. You're not, that you gotta like this is specific. Your production is not going to change because it's tied to what we're used to seeing on TV. If you're saying that, then you're saying they're going to change the aspect of the production in WWE, which
That's
I don't
what
think
they're going to do. MD.
Yeah, that's
I don't see that. I don't see it.
MD, that's exactly what they're going to do.
I feel like TKO is going to take over the production probably, and they're going to fire some of the WWE production people. And as much as I should
and they will fail. And they will fail.
Yeah. I disagree with that.
Wait a minute. But WWE has the best production, like better than some Hollywood movie people. You know what I mean? Like their video packages are amazing. You know, so hopefully that don't happen. But I feel like TKO is going to start taking over in the production aspect, the administrative aspect. They're going to start trickling down. You know, all throughout.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, administrative. Yeah, that's going to get cut. Production, I don't think it's gonna happen because, like you just said, WWE production way better than UFC production, like way better. Like
I agree.
Cutting production equals cutting ratings, basically. That's what's gonna happen.
And if you notice, I feel like WWE, like a lot of times they don't set up their feuds a lot, and you don't be invested in the match. But then when you watch that video package, it gets you invested because their video packages are so good, you know.
WWE created video packages pretty much. Boxing, everything else just followed their format. They've been doing that. Yeah, if they touch any of that creative, the personnel, actually the things that affect that in-ring, they're gonna fail. They're gonna fail. I think I agree with what MD's saying. That back end, that office, that administrative area, that'll get hit up with a lot of cuts. But like to get rid of certain talent or people behind the talent and change the product in a drastic way, they're gonna fail.
See, hold on, because I think they're not talking about talent. It's just not. I mean, some talent may go, you know, we touched on Drew earlier. Maybe they don't want to retain that contract, but we're not talking about in the grand scheme of things, them just cutting 20% of the talent roster. We're talking about like behind the scenes guys, cameramen and stuff like that, which and we had this conversation before, if you have an office manager, like why can't one office manager do the same thing? I'm just asking. I'm just saying.
Because the workload is bigger. It was meant for two companies.
All right. So we don't in the coming weeks we'll know more as far as his overall plan. But so the creation of TKO marks an exciting new chapter for UFC and WWE as leaders in global sports and entertainment. Endeavour CEO Ariel Emanuel, who also serves as CEO of TKO, said in a prepared statement, given their continued connectivity to the Endeavour network, we are confident in our ability to accelerate their respective growth and unlock long-term substantial value for shareholders with UFC and WWE under one roof. We will provide unrivaled experiences for more than 1 billion passionate fans worldwide. On a pro forma basis, TKO had $2.43 billion in revenue for 2022, with UFC representing $1.14 billion, and that of the WWE accounted for $1.29 billion. And net income of $351.8 million. After accounting adjustments, TKO will assume 207. Okay, so this is what I want to get to. Y'all heard in the video, Ariel Emanuel kept talking about our leverage, leverage, whatever he was saying. And he was saying how it was like at an 8 now. And now with the formation of the company, it's at a 3, right where they want it. He was talking about their debt. So so TKO basically took on their outstanding debt. So again, this is how the rich get richer, because back to our football thing where we were talking about the turf, what I didn't mention is that there's the team that's going to get the World Cup, the stadium that's going to get the World Cup thing. They took out a loan to replace the field. because it was low interest. They could have paid for it up front, but they just took out a loan, a low interest loan. So like rich people stay winning, man. They just oh God. All right. So before I go any further, what you guys got there? Because I want to get into like who's on the board and stuff like that.
No, I said my thing already that I feel like they're gonna start bleeding into the production and administrative, and start cutting people and making cuts all the way around. I don't think they're gonna cut talent like you said, but definitely production and administrative, and that's it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to it's a great strategy. A merge, I guess looking on the outside looking in, it's a good thing because it increases revenue, which will decrease debt. So, like, you can buy a company for a certain amount, and based off that merge, it increases not more or less a bottom line, but in a way it does, because again, he just said by buying the company, the revenue of WWE decreases their debt. So again, it's a brilliant business strategy. I ain't saying it ain't. I'm just not with the like collective merging and stuff like that. That's just me.
We gonna get there. All right. Vancat, you don't have nothing on that part?
No, go ahead. I'm listening to what you guys are saying. I agree with some stuff. Go ahead.
All right. All right. So this is what Bones wanted to hear. So in addition, hold on, I'm trying to scarf down this rib. In addition, that's why I turned my camera off. In addition to Emmanuel serving as TKO CEO, the new company's management team comprises of Mark Shapiro as president and COO, who continues as president and chief operating officer of Endeavour. The CFO is Andrew Schlemmer. So here's what he wants. Dana White is now CEO of UFC, and Lawrence Epstein remains senior executive VP. Nick Khan continues at WWE in the role of president after serving as CEO, and will have a seat on TKO's board. With the transaction, Emmanuel receives a grant of restricted stock units in TKO Class A common stock worth $40 million, which will vest in 4 equal installments on each of the one year, 2 year, 3 year, and 4 year anniversaries of the closing date, subject to his continued employment. Shapiro receives a grant. Okay, so in addition, WWE executives who will receive sale bonuses. Cash payments in connection with the TKO deal include Nick Khan, $15 million. Kevin Dunn gets $7 million. Kevin Dunn's been with Vince McMahon forever. And Triple H gets $5 million, and CFO Frank Riddick gets $5 million. McMahon said in the statement, "This is a culmination of a decades-long partnership between Endeavour and WWE." I never heard of Endeavour before this, so this is news to me. Across WWE's strategic initiatives, including talent representation and media rights. Given our collaborative, trusted relationship and Endeavor's incredible track record of success growing UFC, we believe WWE is optimally positioned for future growth and success as part of TKO. Our focus remains on delivering for our fans across the globe as we take the business to the next level. So, all right, so I just want to get to this. So Venkat, because I feel like Venkat wants to rail on Vince. So let me just say this. So Venkat,
I didn't say anything.
So Venkat can rail on Vince.
No, I didn't say anything.
As CEO of WWE, McMahon made payments totaling $19.6 million dating back to 2007 related to the alleged misconduct that the company had disclosed. WWE said McMahon had taken a medical leave in July after undergoing spinal surgery. Also in July, federal law enforcement agents executed a search warrant and served a federal grand jury subpoena on McMahon in connection with sexual misconduct investigation and demanded legal documents from WWE concerning the probe. In an August 2nd filing, WWE noted that no charges have been brought through these investigations. So real quick on that, the grand jury, Vince McMahon is a figurehead of this company, but they can fire him. Do you think if he gets? Do you think if he gets brought up on charges that Endeavor will future Endeavor him?
Hell yeah.
I think he'll step down before, or I think they'll convince him to step down. He won't want to do it, but I think they'll convince him to step down.
Yeah, they'll create another situation like last year, pretty much.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
if I'm not mistaken, back in the day when they had the steroids trial, didn't Vince McMahon have like some kind of neck issue and he showed up in court with like a neck brace on?
Yeah, he probably.
And then now, now he have these accusations, and he all of a sudden got some kind of spinal, issue or something like that, and had spinal surgery. So
magically,
I just found that very ironic that both times he was on their investigation, he had like some kind of major surgery or something like that.
And to hell with that. When I hit 70, if I look like that, man, I want whatever he taking. Man. So we're in 2023 now. I'm gonna give it 2 years. 2025. Vince McMahon still with the company?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be dead for all we know.
Vince McMahon is man. He'll be here.
Hey, we'll see.
I think of Vince McMahon kind of like how I think about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Like, they're very synonymous with each other, Like, I don't see Jerry ever giving up his team, and I don't see Vince ever giving up WWE.
When I think of Jerry Jones, I just think of his ass in that crowd with all his hate mob.
Hey,
when
that's
he was
another
younger.
story. Yeah.
So here's a TKO 11 board of directors. So Vince McMahon is the executive chairman. Ari Emanuel is the CEO. Mark Shapiro. Nick Khan is the WWE president. Peter Boyne. Egon Durbin. Stephen Koonin. Jonathan Kraft. That's the son of Bob Kraft for the New England Patriots. Sonia Medina Williams. Nancy Tellman. Kerry Wheeler. Any name y'all notice not on there? Paul Levesque.
Triple H, Stephanie.
Well, Stephanie has nothing to do with them, but Paul Levesque, that's the glaring omission.
Bro, I don't understand how he's the best creative mind that WWE has, and I don't know. I just feel like he should get more ownership and more control.
Well, now he definitely can't get any ownership or control because his father-in-law doesn't know. So Mike may finally get his wish. Triple H may be becoming all elite soon. So let me read. Okay, all right, Venkat, you can put up Nick Khan's photo because I'm looking at a different screen now. So this is what I wanted to read from Nick Khan, and then we'll just kind of, with whatever time we got left, just talk about the future of the company. So Nick Khan sends a note to WWE staff about transition following UFC merger TKO launch. And this is article by Nick Miller from WrestlingInc.com. So I always source all my product. So this is from Nick Khan. It's surely been a busy day for everyone in the WWE. Now TKO Holding Group's office as the merger between the wrestling promotion and mixed martial arts promotion UFC has been made official. Both companies now exist under the umbrella of Endeavour, paired together as TKO, while still operating as separate entities. Following the official closure this morning, WWE President Nick Khan sent a memo to staff regarding the changes as reported by Fightful Select and verified with WWE by Wrestling Inc. Khan opened by confirming that the closure of the merger, the closure of the merger, as well as the new New York Stock Exchange ticker symbol TKO, before discussing the transition process. And quote, "A big thank you to all of you for the hard work and commitment that helped us achieve this milestone." The letter states, "As we now begin this transition," never a good word, "we will be in touch with more details." Never good. "In the interim, we will be communicating with each of you regarding new policies and procedures. HR will also be available to answer any and all questions you may have." Khan acknowledged that corporate mergers can lead to uncertainty, but noted that they will continue to preserve the special culture, in quotes, that allows WWE to succeed. The letter also assures employees that management will continue to communicate as long as they continue the transition into a single business. Last month, it was reported that there was worry among WWE office employees about upcoming layoffs, as it is with standard mergers. So all right, so that's all I wanted to say about that. Just to give some quick things. So all right, let's talk about creatively. We got about 10-15 minutes left. Let's talk about creatively. Because Vince McMahon is not in power, I don't think that you'll see the crossover. I mean, so you will see a UFC fighter sitting ringside. I think they just kind of do that to help each other out. You're gonna see that. Just like is no different from seeing Triple H and Vince McMahon sitting ringside for an Adesanya fight. Like, so that's not the issue. They're gonna do that for one another. But as far as creatively, you guys think that they're going to be any type of crossover? Because I know Zay is terrified of that.
I don't think there will be, but I do remember the time when they brought Cain Velasquez in to do a match with Brock, and that didn't, So I'm afraid stuff like that might happen, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say that it's not gonna happen though. Like you said, I feel like I will see a lot more wrestlers at UFC events in the crowd, and I'm okay with that. There was no issue with that, but I feel like it should just stop there,
I agree.
Yeah, Vancat, get this guy's face off. This guy look creepy, man.
He looked like he had some bodies in the basement.
This guy look creepy as hell, man. So
they will.
So MD said he agreed. So Venkat, what do you think as far as the creativity, the creative?
I just hope UFC people don't try to like dictate what WWE does, and WWE people don't dictate what UFC does. I think they can support each other, like Bones was saying, in a minimal fashion by just being at events and whatnot. And I think that any kind of crossover should be for like fighters that are towards the end of their career, or maybe they're like not as hot at the moment and they need something to, get them going again. But like an established star in UFC that's on a roll shouldn't be like just out of nowhere wrestling at WrestleMania or something like that. I don't really think they should be put in those situations.
Do the powers that be story.
What's that? What's that?
I said do the powers that be story with Vince Russo.
So let me get, so on average, damn, Bones fell off, but on average, because this is what I'm thinking, and this is the thing that nobody's talking about. UFC has the UFC Plus thing that you had to pay $10 a month for. And in order to access their pay-per-views, you have to have that. WWE has the WWE Network, which is going to expire. The Peacock deal is going to expire in 2025. The Peacock deal is going to expire in 2025. Oh yeah, and by the way, the Fox deal is up next year. Disney looks to be the suitor for that. But so UFC, you got to do the MMA, the $10 a month UFC pass or whatever to get the pay-per-views. WWE has the Peacock deal. UFC on average, their last few pay-per-views, average gate was like $9 million, far surpassing anything that WWE does. UFC still has the ability to charge you $10 a month and then charge you $80 for pay-per-view. Endeavour obviously is in the business of making money. How soon, and this is going to be my last question on this, how soon before we start seeing at least the big four go back to the pay-per-view model? Because I think it's absolutely going to happen.
That's good. That's a good idea.
Hey, Trevor, can I just add one thing to what you said? As far as, because I done been to WWE events, AEW events, and UFC events over the past few years, and the UFC events, man, are just so damn expensive. Like, even like the regular lesser cards, it's so expensive for the tickets and everything like that. I feel like that's an issue too.
They're always still sold out though.
Yeah, I know they are sold out, but it's just like for the average person to go to a UFC show, you're gonna spend a couple $100 basically.
Okay, I don't put that past you because hell, just going to WWE shows are expensive. I doubt they'd be as expensive as UFC. But specifically, Venkat says that you don't have a problem with that. The big four going back to the pay-per-view model.
Well, what you just laid out, you're saying here's a company that is exceedingly way better than WWE at the pay-per-view model.
Absolutely.
And they seem to be their bread and butter. So they're going to obviously try to push that on WWE to go back to those ways again. So it makes sense and I understand it. And again, if dumbasses are paying, then it justifies pricing it. I mean, it's like the housing situation we got right now. Somehow somebody's paying for these ridiculous prices. I don't know who the hell. So, I mean, they're just going to keep pushing it. Do I like it? Is it good for me? No. But if that's what the business model is showing, then I guess it doesn't make sense for them to do it.
The WWE Network came out in 2013. So for 10 years, I've been paying $9.99 a month for every single pay-per-view. Now you're going to tell me that I possibly had to pay upwards of $60 a month for subpar ass pay-per-views. I'm telling y'all now on this show, it will not happen.
But that's where the people come in though.
But Venkat, if they go back to the pay-per-view model, then we gonna rely on you for the reviews because I am not doing it.
Fine. Did I?
Damn,
MD,
you're breaking up, MD. Damn, I feel like you got a good ass point too.
I know.
Can you hear me? You hear me? I don't know what the hell going on.
Oh, now we can hear you.
I said, yeah, I agree with you, Trevor. If it happened, that's the end of my WWE life, I guess. I said, not 1997, bro. This ain't NWO.
Would y'all? Hey, we watched Payback live. Would y'all had paid $50 for that?
Oh no, there's no way in hell.
No,
exactly.
No,
exactly.
There's no way in hell. But what I'm saying is it's up to people like us, the fans, to not support it, and then it shows them, oh crap, we gotta reassess that model. But if people are paying for it, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm on a line.
Yeah, MD, you might want to go out and come back in.
Now, see the point that Mike is saying right here. Live events are going to become the new status symbol. All live events, you see what Taylor Swift tickets are going for, Beyonce. And this is true. Like the Golden State Warriors got moved out of the Bay and they moved them to San Francisco. And the ticket prices are so high right now. Only like rich people can go see the Golden State Warriors right now.
I know you don't watch football, Venkat, but the Dallas Cowboys, their stadium has a section for standing room only, and those tickets go for like $200.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Think about that.
You have a better seat at home.
I'm sitting in my seat, and these bozos behind me paying comparable money just to stand up in the foyer area. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's lunacy, but like this is what capitalist societies go through. Things don't make sense a lot of times. But again, if people don't go for it, if you vote with your dollars, you always have to think about what you buy to eat, the gas you pump, everything you do, you vote with your dollars. So if you refrain from certain things and they see the drop off, it's going to force them to tighten up. This is what I say with politicians. That's why people should vote. You got to hold these bastards accountable. So vote with your dollars, and then it'll let them know, okay, we can't do this. They come up with a lot of weird things out there. And if you allow it to happen, like for instance, Chick-fil-A, they decided last year, they were like, instead of paying you a paycheck, we'll pay you in chicken sandwiches. That's a real thing.
outta
That
here.
okay,
Hell
you don't
outta
want to believe it. Chick-fil-A said we will pay you by chicken sandwiches, not by the hour. Money. So if you people sign up for it and work under those conditions, that'll justify their position. And that's what I'm saying. You vote by your dollars. You know, let them know what's right and what's wrong.
Shout out to Nurabomb from Canada in the building. MD, come back, man. I'm about to shut the show down. I need to hear your take on the monopoly. Come back, MD. Come back. I need to hear your take. But so again, though, we talking about for 10 years, and I got the WWE Network the day it came out. 10 years. We've watched hundreds of pay-per-views. For $9.99 a month. They never raised the price. Even with Peacock, now it's cheaper because on Peacock, I think I paid $19 for the year. So it's still cheaper. And you're gonna tell me, because we complain about AEW not making their pay-per-views accessible. Now WWE, and we're not saying they're gonna do this, but I know they're gonna do it. Now WWE is gonna be like, hey, we only been charging y'all $10 a month for the past 10 years. Y'all should have been saving the money. You knew it was coming up. You better pay us this $100 for WrestleMania. I am not paying $100 for WrestleMania, even if I know for sure that Cody's gonna win, then that may be the one. But I am not paying for any WWE pay-per-views.
What if The Rock versus Roman happened?
I don't care. I don't care. Bones will have to send me every link in the world, and I'll sit here and thumb through them all until I find a new one. I'm not doing it. It's no. And listen, and not for nothing, I'm gonna land my plane right here. How could you justify just making $9.3 billion and you're bragging that, oh, now we got the biggest MMA company, now we got the biggest wrestling company, we're making hand over fist, we're probably gonna buy up every smaller company because you know that's coming up next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and by the way, the WrestleMania you've been paying $9.99 for? No, let me do you one even better. The WrestleMania that in 2013 you got for free, because if you signed up for the WWE Network, you got the first month free. Now you gonna have to pay upwards of $60 for it? No, it ain't happening. Y'all see, that's why I got on this AEW shirt. That's why my sign says All Elite, because I'm not doing it. I'm not. You're not giving me these subpar ass shows with these terrible storylines. The video packages are great because the video package for Becky and Trish was great and the match was great. But you're not gonna give me this. You're not gonna give me a 10-match card and I only get 2 good matches. Your world champion never shows up, and then he's still gonna win all the time. And then you want me to pay you $70? No, hell no, get out of here.
It's the new reality with these corporations, man.
And here goes Nurabomb saying he got his night 2 tickets for WrestleMania. Look at that. I guess they got those guys.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, MD. Yeah, hold on. I'm
okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All I was saying was, I agree with you, Trevor. I'm not. My WWE career will be over. You know what I'm saying? Like the storylines are not compelling enough for me to want to shovel out money. It's not. You know what I mean? Like I said,
I don't think it will be just you guys. There'll be a whole community of people that cover these wrestling events and shows that'll just tap out at that point.
You know who will benefit from this though? The indie promotions.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And maybe that's what's needed. Maybe that's what's needed.
Yeah, UFC fans and WWE fans ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say that. Hold on. I got one sound clip I want to play. I'm so glad you said that. You set me up perfect for it. And then I need to hear what you were saying about why you hate the monopoly, so we could close down, because my daughter just came in here looking sad. So y'all listen to this clip from Dana White. Damn, Bones fell off again.
Christine Lawrence said something to ESPN today. He said, where we want to get is where every UFC fan is a WWE fan and every WWE fan is a UFC fan. Do you see similarities in the fan base, and how achievable is that goal?
Lawrence, I love you. one of the dumbest statements of all time. Yeah, I don't know why he said that. I don't even know what to say to that. No. There's some crossover. Some people like WWE, some people like UFC, some people like both. I don't think there's ever going to be a day where we turn every UFC fan into a WWE fan or every WWE fan. What's beautiful about the synergy between these two fan bases is they are very completely opposite. You know, there's very little crossover. And again, maybe he was misquoted. I hope that's the case, because I could not disagree with him more.
And that's the CEO of the UFC. WWE fans and UFC fans are not the same, and and they're hoping that the crossover will bump up these Raw ratings. That UFC fans will be like, you know what? Let's watch that Monday Night Raw thing. They're all under the same umbrella, so let's get the ratings up from the doldrums of 1.3 million. And let's get them back into the 3 million territory. That's never going to happen. Never. All right, MD. Yeah. I want to hear your monopoly thing though, because you started off with it.
Yeah. All I was saying is, mergers create precedent, right? When you have two mega companies merging together to create, and like I said, you know, I don't necessarily go with the monopoly thing. I understand they exist, but for me, the way my mindset is, I understand it. But when you have two companies that merge with each other, it creates a precedent for the next time it happens, and that creates antitrust. That's the reason why I don't like the merger, like in that aspect. That may be another reason why maybe somebody like a Stephanie or a Triple H will say, hey, look, like you were able to create, like I'm talking about Vince McMahon, you were able to create this mega power in sports entertainment upwards of $9 billion from $1 million. Why not carry that over to the next generation? And maybe we can go to 18 billion. You know what I mean? Hell, the way inflation going, why not? You know what I'm saying? So from that aspect, I understand it. It's a great business move. I never take that away. But I understand what it can potentially create, which is antitrust problems in the future. Hell, we don't know what AEW might be in another 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? And what if they get an opportunity to do something that Endeavour and WWE were able to do? Now you can't do it because now you just created an antitrust precedent. You know what I mean? That's my issue.
Is this individualist MD don't care what nobody do with their money now having a heart?
Well, no. It's me understanding that it's not through antitrust, which is supposed to be there to create competition. It's ultimately there to make sure that nobody else can compete against you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still in my individualist bag, but I'm looking at it as what it is. Like I said, there's no what competition is it with WWE? There's none. But who's to say it won't be in the future? Is all I'm saying. And by creating a merger, you automatically create antitrust precedent. Automatically. So that's my issue with it.
Dr. Doom.
Trying to see
your fist is still there.
All right, Venkat, what you got on this? I wanna wrap this up, man. Shout out to Big Mike. I had my name on here. It said Trevor's All Elite, but I can't see it on the screen for some reason.
Because of the chat. That's why. Okay. Yeah, once the chat goes away, you see the names.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out. I want to make sure y'all know who you're dealing with. so put a bow on this, Venkat. And again, we didn't get to touch on everything, but we keep it into a time frame. So just put a bow on this and what you expect to come. And again, we're not gonna know the the effect of the moves at least for a year or two down the line.
Right, and a lot could change by then. I mean, like, how is this affecting Triple H? How is this affecting Stephanie? You know, how the deal is great for McMahon. He's coming out as big winner. So it's all good for him. But a lot can change, right? The talent can change, the environment can change. I mean, the Tonight Show just had an issue where just like that lady, oh God, what the hell is her name? Well, she had a toxic environment. Oh God, Ellen. Yeah, she got taken off the air and whatnot because of that toxic environment. Now we find out the Tonight Show also had the same energy and issue, and they just sent out some sort of apology. So when the environment backstage with WWE changes, because it will, I don't think it could just be smooth and a nice transition. There's going to be elements of it that changes, hopefully for the better, but it can also change for the worse. And with those changes, a lot can change. We can see Triple H in AEW. And the first time I heard people saying that, I was like, that's not going to happen. But I could definitely see how it can happen now. And I don't know Triple H personally, but I don't feel like he wants this. I felt like he wanted that legacy to continue in the McMahon household, especially connected to Stephanie. And I think he wanted the opportunity to one day totally run and control the company and build something. And I think a lot of those ideas and dreams that he had, one of which I really like, where he's talking about the World Cup of Wrestling and having different WWE leagues across the world functioning as their own entity, and then once a year they come together for the World Cup of Wrestling, and you got all these international talents vying for the championship. I just thought he had some great big ideas, and I don't know if that's going to be a reality with this situation. Hopefully it does, but I don't know. But a lot of this is speculation, and a lot of it is remained to be seen. But Vince McMahon don't care because he got his money and he got his mustache. So good night.
Oh boy. MD, you got anything else before we hit the road? Oh, I do want to say this to Venkat's Triple H point. All in is in London again next year, 2024. My prediction for the year is that Triple H will show up on that show. There, I said it. Because I agree with you. He doesn't like this. He loves the $5 million that he got, but now he's been pushed lower down the totem pole. He's not even on the friggin' board of directors.
But Trevor, though, think about $5 million, though. Didn't we just say that KO made like what, $3 million?
Yeah.
Come on, you're the guy that's running all this creative energy and ideas. $5 million?
But that was just like a dividend payout, though.
I get that, but it's just, it feels like Triple H should be bigger involved and just more of a factor. And it just seems like the $5 million payout, it just kind of shows how low on the totem pole he really is.
Because Tony Khan is so terrible at his job. Like I said, Triple H will be the surprise at All In next year. Watch just how y'all saw Mercedes sitting up in the rafters. Paul Levesque will be. The signs will be real this time when it says Paul Levesque is All Elite, because Tony Khan is terrible. If Tony Khan can't keep going on the way that he's going. He just needs to write the checks. That's it.
If that happened, that'd be the biggest moment since Shane McMahon showed up on Nitro.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. And I'm here for it. Why? Because I am All Elite. I'm All Elite.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, nothing much else really to add. I won't necessarily say Triple H will go to AEW. I think he actually has a better chance of just starting his own promotion. Hell, when the big man die, he'll have all the money in the world to do whatever he wants. So if he can't get back in with TKO, he'll have the money to start his own promotion. Because I honestly think that he wants total creative control. That's what Triple H wants. Because his vision shows that he can create something that people will watch. But the hindrance of McMahon, even if it might be minute, is stopping him from achieving his ultimate goal of what he wants a show to look like. So I think personally that he's going to start his own promotion. That's me.
Yep.
But this will be after Vince died.
Which could be anywhere from now to 10 years.
Oh shit! Hold on, Mike. Damn, Mike, come up when I'm trying to close the show out. What's up, Mike?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just finished teaching my daughter decimals. I would like to say that all of you are hypocrites. Every single one of you are now with MD, maybe 50 Cent, are now spouting my views as if they're your own. How dare you? How dare you?
Wait a minute, Mike.
I came on here months ago.
Because every idea is a Mike original.
Now that's something you need to clip because that's a fact. how months ago when I came out here and said these things that you guys were saying, all of you called me crazy. When I said WWE is a wasteland and if they and nobody stands up to them, including their fans, that's why they're gonna start charging all this money. Y'all said, man, please, it's $10. It don't mean nothing. When I said the stash ain't gonna let it go, and Triple H is finally gonna learn, and he's gonna have to go to AEW. Oh, Mike, you're crazy. Mike, you're insane. Now, and when WWE Trevor was trying to beat me in the ground about how this little upstart's never gonna do it, now AEW Trevor got a shirt on and is trying to make me obsolete. How dare you all?
You gotta admit, though, AEW domestically is terrible. You gotta admit that.
I'm the first one to say that. And the movie just made was stupid. He should have never allowed all those people around CM Punk.
Compton's most wanted. MCA. Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, let me ask you a question before you get off real quick. Who's more equipped to run AEW after Vince? Triple H or Kevin Dunn?
Triple H.
But here's the point. Who has the
I'm talking about overall.
Who has the power to run it better right now? Triple H. But it does not matter because what comes after the mustache, gentlemen? It's the mustache and the what?
Money.
No, the mustache and the ego. It'll always be Vince's. Triple H is not Vince's. Triple H wants to take Stephanie and be something different. The
Kevin
ego
Dunn
will always follow.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn is a yes man.
Yeah, but
and that's what he likes.
That's what I'm saying.
Kevin Dunn is a video producer. Like he can't run
Kevin Dunn can run Raw. Trust me, he can.
No, he can't. He run it into the ground. He's the reason why the camera keeps shaking every damn time they have a match.
Now I ain't talking about creative. I'm just talking about overall being able to produce every show in WWE.
Just to make the show go. But what's a show if you don't have the show runner or the storyline? That's
vision.
Great.
The vision.
Well, of course he gonna have creative. I ain't saying he ain't gonna have somebody in creative. I'm just talking about running the show, being that gorilla, making sure everything goes smooth.
I'm gonna say this, then get out, because what we do is we let the chat in for one topic, and I am the chat, and I'm in for one topic. I want to say this. Your question: you just said it. Who's gonna come in and run it for one little thing instead of the person who can run it all perfectly? Vince.
Yeah.
And Vince is gonna want his Bristow to take over next. What was it? You remember the two old guys?
Yeah, Jared Briscoe and Pat Patterson.
There you go. He's going to want them to run it next because he's going to leave a nice long, it used to be a nice big piece of paper with all the writing, a nice composition book would do what Vince says. Now it's going to be a computer program. You don't even have to think. Just type in, we have a problem with a wrestler on Raw. Enter. It'll tell you what to do. Don't even need to think. Think. Do what Vince says.
I was reading something that like they were saying that Vince McMahon's influences was shown on the last Raw or whatever. I guess he was in a hotel.
Damn right.
he was in a hospital or something, and he was like giving instructions over like a conference feed about what to
Zoom
do.
call. Yes, sir. Y'all get ready.
And now remember, Trevor just said it was the worst rated Raw in history, and that was Vince McMahon piloting the ship from a remote location.
Venkat,
He took it behind the NYC to that TKO thing though, didn't he? He was front line and center.
Yeah.
Hey Venkat, you remember when Endeavor first bought WWE and everyone said nothing's gonna change, they're gonna keep it the way it is. And then all of a sudden, through remote ties or remote moves, Vince started making changes to an episode of SmackDown, and we were all like, you guys were all like, he's not gonna come in. Triple H is doing a great job. And then he did it anyway. And then a few weeks later, Triple H was out of the creative. You remember when that happened?
Yep.
You remember when I was saying Vince is coming, the mustache is coming, and all of y'all laughed at me? I'm gonna leave it at that. You gentlemen have a good night. Next time, listen to your happy neighborhood, Michael, because others is always here with the truth.
Trevor might be right about this whole all-in thing by next year. We might see
I'm
that.
telling you, all in 2024.
I didn't think this was gonna happen. Like when I first heard you guys saying this, I'm like, nah, there's no way Triple H will be.
And watch the hypocrisy of the fans, how they gonna act like, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world after they shit on the man. That's the problem. That's the only thing I don't like. Triple H is the man.
Triple H might go with Cody one shot.
Yeah,
Triple H and Cody might debut the same time.
Especially if Cody don't get that belt at Mania.
Nah, getting the belt don't mean nothing. That's Chris Benoit. That he won the belt and left off it. That don't mean nothing.
But y'all just happened to push the show to 3 hours. But I mean, we were doing so good. Hey, I want to ask y'all something real quick. So this totally besides the show. So I'm done. I'm done with TKO right now. We'll keep following the story, as more developments. This is what I did want to ask y'all. So I went through all the setup on the PS5 to be able to stream to YouTube. I got the link code. I did everything. I typed in the title, and it even told me that it was broadcasting, but I can't see the broadcast on YouTube. But I got a community strike because one of the songs in Madden was a copyright. I mean,
oh my god,
I can't get away from these damn strikes. But
the PS5 live stream, man, it's kind of weird because you literally have to mute sometimes because my kids do it. Playing like Fortnite and stuff. A lot of them songs, like it won't even show up on the stream. It won't even show up at all. So yeah, that's a YouTube thing, not a PlayStation thing.
Yeah, but I can't even get my stream. So I played the chart because I always play whoever the Dolphins gonna play that week. I always play them on Madden. So I played the Chargers versus Dolphins, and I tried to stream it to my channel. And on the PlayStation, it showed that it was broadcasted. But then when I got my phone and looked at the actual channel, like how I'm doing now, it's not showing anything. And I did that 3 times. I did a test run. I played 2 games straight. And the only thing that it showed was like a 9-second clip that it flagged me for when I was doing the last test. And so I don't, and I've been watching YouTube videos, and the YouTube video's been telling me like everything they say to do, I do. And this is not, so it's saying that it's broadcasted. So on there, it'll say the channel name, Straight Talk with Trevor. It'll say that it's broadcasting live and everything. But when I actually go to look at YouTube itself, it's not there. So I'm wondering if y'all know anything to do to get that on there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's YouTube doing that. Like they just instantly just say, "Hey, this guy has been copyright striking all year long, so we know he's gonna mess up. Let's just go ahead and block his ass right now."
Hey, just a suggestion before you go, man. You might want to like get a Twitch channel and do it on Twitch.
I
did say I was going to do a Twitch because when I got kicked off Facebook. By the way, just in case y'all didn't hear at the beginning, I am back on Facebook. They sent me the thing today saying that my channel was reinstated, so I will be
All that drama. All that drama they put people through.
To Facebook,
Crazy.
I know, man. This crap crazy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I think we did a good show on this tonight, fellas.
Oh yeah. I got to do an intro for the sidebar. Whenever we got to do a sidebar, we need an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got a clip. I got like 3 segments out of Man Talk Monday that I got a clip. Hey, MD, somebody sent me a message today, just praising Gideon like nobody's business, man. They love Gideon.
Hey man, listen, I told you, man, like he's super TBN, bro. I mean, as long as I've known him, he been like that, you know.
But he not though.
Yeah, no matter what you talk.
MD, Gideon is Wayne. When I listen to Gideon talk, that's Wayne, but he'll just throw in Bible scriptures. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Gideon
is
Wayne.
whatever you're talking about, man, he'll bring it back to the Bible. It don't matter what you're talking about.
Oh God, we talking about. I'm like, where the hell he going with this? And he's like, no, because the Bible says. I'm like, oh man, this joke here. But yeah, man, I got damn, I wish I wasn't doing nothing tomorrow, but I got a clip up that show, man, because there was like 3 clips in there that I gotta do a mic check. I gotta do especially that interaction with you and Gideon at the end of the show. Yeah, I thought that was fantastic. So I gotta do that. So all right, fellas, I'm about to get out of here. We hitting that 3-hour mark. I still got to do the closing.
All right.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace.
All right.
All right, Straight Talk Society. There you have it. Another fantastic episode of Wrestling with Reality, episode 23. Man, when you think about it, we've done 23 episodes of this, and this is since March. I started going live on this channel. I went live on this channel March 3rd for the Cyril Gahn John Jones fight. That was the first show I ever did on this channel live. Since then, 6 months later, we've done like 45 Straight Talk sessions, like 12 Pour Your Heart. Like, it's just crazy how many shows we've done over here, man. So I appreciate you guys for the support and everything like that. And shout out to Vancat always for being the one to push me to do this. Y'all don't understand. Man, I wish I could have recorded the conversation when he kept telling me how bad I needed to come over to YouTube and how bad I fought it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming through tonight. I think we had a real good conversation, man. We'll just have to wait and see. I think on the surface is a tremendous deal, man. Vince McMahon, he bought the company for $1 million and he sold it for $9.3 billion. I mean, somebody got to show me where in the world is that ever a bad deal. Now, as far as the creative goes, it remains to be seen because he's not in control anymore. So it remains to be seen. But we do have another show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, my brother Eddie Israel will be over here on the Straight Talk Biblical Discussions. He'll be presenting. He's going to be doing a presentation on, I don't remember the title, man. Are African Americans Negro? Something to that effect. But he's going to tie us in to be an Israelite. So y'all be sure and check that out tomorrow at 6 p.m. The brother Eddie Israel is very passionate about what he believes. Hopefully Jackie McCall will come through because I'd like for those two to have a dialogue. Then, Friday, the MMA brothers will be back to be, they're going to be doing a preview show for UFC Noche. Then Sunday morning, they'll be back doing the review show for that card. Then, Monday, we got Man Talk Monday. Y'all be sure to tune in for the flagship show of the channel. All the shenanigans will be going down, trying to lock in and see if we're going to do that show on colorism. I'll know that by this weekend, or just follow the page and you'll see if the thumbnail goes up. We have Tape Fist Politics on Tuesday. This is one you got to tune in for. The Venkat and the crew are going to compare Obama's administration versus Trump's administration. So that's going to be a fantastic show. Then Wednesday, we'll be right back with Wrestling with Reality. And Thursday, we do have a debate at 6:30. Brother Stacey Mobley will be taking on St. Louis, the Undisputed Truth TV. in a very interesting topic entitled, Are There 204 Books of Scripture? So y'all make sure and check that out. Straight Talk Therapy Sessions has been pushed back a week because Dr. Mia has something to do. So she'll be here on the 29th. And on the 28th, we do have another debate. St. Louis will be right back to take on Peter Cox. And the name of that debate is something to the effect of, did the Ethiopian eunuch, something about the Ethiopian eunuch. I don't remember the title off the top of my head, and I don't have the thumbnails loaded onto this particular screen, but we will give the rundown for everything coming up on the channel on Man Talk Monday. So with all that being said, I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations. Until tomorrow night. Peace.
And the bitch
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
You'll get the shit. You'll be knee deep in shit.